Hello, and welcome to episode 52 of the MisanthroPod. I'm Snipe, and as always, I'm joined by Wib. Say hello.
Hello.
And I'm also joined by Drummer Bum. Say hello.
Hello.
How are you lovely gentlemen today?
I'm all right. It's
Okay.
a little bit cooler than the last time we recorded, so I'm not slowly melting into a puddle. So that's good.
See, for a moment there, I thought, like, I'm a little bit cooler than I was last. I thought, like, should you be wearing sunglasses?
I'm wearing sunglasses and a backwards cap.
He looks really cool, listeners/viewers.
How are you, Matt?
I'm good, thanks. How are you, Snipe?
I'm okay. I'm okay now. I'm apparently cooler than I was last time.
Yeah.
Right, so we've got some general stuff to talk about first.
Yes. So people who are following the channel will know we put out a new Codex Compliant, which took far too long to write.
People seem to like it, I guess.
Yeah.
Wasn't the script just orcs?
Yes, actually.
The weird thing was, it was like the last couple of paragraphs of it I agonized about over like crazy, and it took weeks to get it sort of in a form that was coherent of what I wanted to say. It was weird. You know, sometimes you just get such bad writer's block.
Okay.
Yeah.
But because of that, I kind of rushed through the editing part once it was finally down. So there is an error in there that I'd like to acknowledge. Basically, I do know, and it is an error, but it's not with the information given, it's with a bit of editing, which is that when we're talking about characters that are in the Codex and we mention Captain Badrook, I show a picture of Captain... Is he a captain? I don't know. But Zagstruck, the Stormboy's special character.
More apologies and amendments to come. Oh, we do have some bad news. Some very, very sad news for Drummer Matt.
Oh yeah, this is very sad news.
Yeah, I've seen this.
I'm afraid your lady love has departed.
Yeah.
We got a new couch.
I know.
It's
Which,
okay.
under normal circumstances, shouldn't be something that's worth talking about in a podcast.
Well, I don't know, the shit we get. I was sitting there going, so I went into Specsavers last week, and I got me fucking
That was
glasses.
everyone's favourite bit.
I know, everyone loved the part where I talked about being old and needing fucking glasses, and then needing a fucking hearing test because I have fucking bullshit, like, what is it? I have, like, high-frequency, mild hearing loss, and everyone was like, shit, yeah, I love that part where Snipe admitted she's old and degenerating.
But yes, the couch will actually feature because, of course, we film like the scripted stuff on the couch, so suddenly it'll change colour completely.
Yeah.
Because
So now it's like, it doesn't have a really horrible, like, 90s, like, bus seat design on it.
It was
I don't know.
special. Yeah.
I'd say it was less of a bus seat design and more of a, you know, those kind of suave guys, like the yuppie kind of dudes who'd be wandering around, like, wearing those ugly as fuck shirts.
Did you just use the term yuppie in 2018?
Yeah.
Right.
I told you I'm old and degenerating.
Okay.
But yeah, it's basically one of those horrible fuck-ass shirts.
Yeah, it wasn't
It
good. I think
was really comfy,
It
though.
was, yeah.
It was
wasn't
painfully comfy.
It wasn't a handful of videos without a cover on it, so you did get to see its pattern in its
Just
full
how
glory.
ugly it
but-
fucking was. And then we bought, because it started shredding on the, and we had to buy a thing, and it was like, I just want to put a bag over it, really. It's so fuck ugly.
But yeah, so you'll see a brand new couch, which you'll see in the next scripted video or anything we do on, like, sitting on the couch, like an eater thing video.
Honestly, I think we should just end the podcast here, because this is what people are tuning in to
Yeah.
listen to.
So let's move on from the couch talk.
Yeah. Okay, I can think of, like, other stuff that emotionally rocked my world.
Yes.
We all saw Infinity War. Don't worry, we won't spoil things.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I'm not comfortable saying basically anything about it, apart from
Yeah.
if you haven't seen it, go and see it.
Yeah, the Avengers are in it? Shit, people are just, like, swearing blood oaths and
There
burning
is some.
effigies. And
I mean, there are some things that I think are fairly obvious that aren't really spoilers. Well, as in, all of the memes surrounding it that you literally can't get away from sort of lets you know...
The internet's being a twat, because it has to be a twat about it.
I found...
It's like, if you have seen it, please don't spoil it. Don't spoil it in the comments. Just go see it. I think it's a really good movie. I really enjoyed it. I thought, considering how many characters they just roped in...
Oh,
I
yeah,
thought
it's ridiculous.
It's because any other thing I've seen like that as a movie has just been shit, because like versus movies especially, they tend to not be able to handle the characters that they have, and there were a couple of characters that weren't in it, and there were a few characters that didn't do a super amount, but I thought, considering the monumental difficulty of the task of dealing with that many fucking name characters, they did a great job.
Yeah, I will say there are a few little things that I do want to address, and none of them are really spoilery, or I will word them in such a way that it isn't a spoiler.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Good
you
luck.
need to understand that with Infinity War, if you say anything, people get fucking apoplectic with rage.
Well, they can get mad, that's fine.
You heard it here first, folks.
No, I'm going to be careful.
Okay,
So-
yeah, be careful.
One is that, and these aren't spoilers because you can literally see the characters in the trailer, which is that watching it may just reinforced my thoughts that the best parts of the Marvel Cinematic Universe are the Guardians of the Galaxy and the character of Thor. Not the Thor movies, but the character of Thor.
Well, Thor is Bay. He's amazing.
And those are the best things about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and that was pretty much just,
Yeah.
that kind of shines out quite bright in the movie.
I also didn't hate Benedict Cumberbatch. And I got his name right, because I'm not doing it for a
I'm not
shit
sure you
yet.
did, actually.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard.
I'm a bit Bubba Bap. Baby Bib Bubble Bap.
To be fair, whenever anyone says it correctly, I'm not sure if they said it correctly anyway. So.
That's fair. But yeah, honestly, I think I have a knee-jerk reaction to Bumble Donk Bimple Dimp. See? It's not funny!
Yeah,
I
it's
can't make it funny.
No.
Yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch. Sherlock, whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah.
Because I have been overexposed to like, oh my god, Sherlock is so hot. He has like really floppy hair and looks like he got stuck in a doorway for 18 years of his life. Well, I'm not shading him on his looks. It's just kind of like seeing like everyone sitting there and just like literally drooling on pictures of his face is a bit... It makes you a bit knee-jerky, you know? So you kind of have a bad idea of someone before you get... Because you're just so overexposed to them.
Yeah, I get that.
So yeah, I was like, oh shit, okay, yeah.
He was alright.
Motherfucker can act. Good on him. I mean, it'd be horrifying if he'd got this far and he couldn't act.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would also like to acknowledge the fact that the special effects are pretty good. Thanos
fantastic.
looks incredible, considering.
There are a couple of moments that the CGI really fell flat.
There is one particular... Okay, hang on.
There's a part at the end
It actually
where a
is-
bunch of people are just standing around, and there's one thing there that was so glaringly, horribly made.
Let's just say, because it doesn't... There's a million characters this could apply to. There is someone wearing a mechanical suit, and their actual head is poking out the top of it, and it's one of the worst special effects in the
It's
entire
terrible.
Marvel Cinematic Universe.
It's really bad.
I'm seeing it again at some point, so I'll keep an eye out. I genuinely didn't notice the first time, but...
Oh,
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
really bad.
I watched,
See, I
watched
wearing...
Civil War yesterday, and it was like the kind of the head in suit thing, and that was like 1,000 times
Yeah.
better than this. It's like if I tried to do it, it's like, jeez.
It was made worse by this is the first time I've worn my glasses while watching a movie.
That's the first time you can actually see what's happening.
So I was like, so everything was rendered in crystal clear, pristine, like high definition for me for the first time
There's
in
such
years,
a thing
apparently.
as too high def.
So yeah, that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was really impressed with like a lot of the nuance in how Thanos was animated. Like
I
really
feel
well
like
done.
occasionally you'd forget you're looking at this big old CGI.
Yeah,
Hulk.
completely
purple.
forgot. Like, it's just
Yeah.
like, that's just Thanos. That's just what he looks like, and he's just a dude. He's not a dude in a, like,
Yeah.
one of those weird bubble suit things.
Yeah, no, and also Vision.
Vision, yeah.
I think he looked fantastic because, like, in Civil War, it's like he looks so fake all the time, and the color grading in Marvel Cinematic Universe is a bit fucky anyway.
Oh,
I
it's
think
horrible and grey.
I think
and
in
awful.
Infinity War it was pretty decent.
It
Still needed work, but
it's-
comparatively,
yeah.
holy dang.
It's more colourful. I think they started to take on board that criticism that people had that most of them were colour corrected to just be this kind of weird, wishy-washy grey kind of colour.
Yeah. So yeah, But no, I think Vision looked a lot better as well.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
He did look a lot better.
The only other thing I want to address, which is that I think even if you have only got cursory things about the movie, you'll know that people are like, wow, yes, there's some big things that happen in it.
There are some big things that happen in it.
However, am I the only one that feels a lot of it is sort of undermined by the fact that you know all the other movies that are currently in production? Because it means that you know that certain things, well, you go, well, that's not going to stick because that won't last into this movie.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, you've already announced that. And as much as I would love to live in a world where a production company could put out an announcement for a movie as a joke.
You're thinking of them as like being Kojima level.
Yeah, like this outrageous Machiavellian scheme to give, like, push you the wrong way. And to make you think the wrong things, so they can
put out fake trailers so that you think it goes a certain way.
That would be amazing. If it does turn out that that's what they've done, that would be amazing.
But because all those things are actually tied into like investors and their stock prices, and that's what announcements actually do.
Yeah.
You know, that's not the case, which is a little sad, but. You know, I still really want to see how they resolve everything they've done.
I really am looking forward to the next one, and I honestly was feeling massively exhausted with superhero movies for a while.
Oh
yeah.
That's why I've not seen many of them. Like, this phase, I've basically seen none of them.
I mean, what was it? We figured out before I went to see Infinity War, the last canonical Marvel production I saw was The Punisher.
Which has got bugger all to do with
Just
anything.
got fuck all to do with anything.
And I
like it like that.
What's the last movie you saw?
Shit. The Avengers, maybe?
What, the first Avengers?
Maybe.
Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, I saw Iron Man. No, that was before the...
Yeah, that's quite a bit before.
I saw Thor, that was before as well.
Yep. Have you seen any of the sequels?
Don't think so.
Jesus.
So I was just like, I'm just glad to be here.
You see,
I don't know what the fuck that guy's doing or why this is happening, but I'm happy to see.
I've at least I was up to Age of Ultron, and I hadn't seen anything past that.
I'm sure I've not seen that at all, no.
So I at least knew who Vision was, you know.
I knew who Vision was anyway. I was like, I've read comic books, it's fine.
Yeah, but this is a Vision people care about.
Okay, mean, but yeah, okay. He is a very charismatic guy to watch. I do like Vision.
Yeah, but yeah, no. It was a good movie, and also there is one little minor criticism I've heard people say about it that I don't think is entirely valid.
Stan Lee does not get naked in this movie.
He doesn't.
I can't, in all good conscience, recommend this movie because I wanted to see a shriveled raisin dingle.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And you just don't get to see it. Like, what the fuck is even the point?
Well, the complaint that I was talking
Shall
about...
seen now, Mr. Lee.
The complaint that I was going to talk about was that people have sat there and said there's no character development in it. And it's like, well, yeah, there isn't much, but that's because it's balancing about 30 characters, and the character development was in the previous 10 years of movies.
Yeah, there's what, 9... How many films is there in the series? There's like 20 odd of them.
It's been going since, 2010, isn't it?
Yeah.
A bit earlier than that.
No, 2008 was Iron Man, was it? I think it's been 10 years.
It's about 10 years, yeah.
So, yeah.
The thing is, the character development in the rest of the movies has been pretty good. And yes, I've seen the other ones, well, one or two.
the movies that you have seen.
I just want to watch Thor all day. That's fine.
You don't want to watch Thor: The Dark World.
I kind of do.
It's not worth watching at
I
all
want to watch
for
Ragnarok.
any reason.
That shit looks fierce.
Yeah, I do mean to get around to watching Ragnarok, because that looks like my sort of movie.
And I want it on Netflix.
But yeah, Dark World is just bad. The only good part about it, the only thing I remember about that entire movie is Idris Elba taking down a spaceship on his own.
To be fair, I think that's
worth
watching just for Idris Elba alone, because he's amazing.
Yeah, that wasn't in the script, that was just Idris Elba doing his thing, and he's like, we will just make it so the character does this, because it wasn't...
Yeah, exactly. They were just kind of filming the kind of making of documentary, and he took down what?
Wait, so you are... I just want to get this clear in my head.
Okay.
So you are suggesting that to make Assaheim, they actually built it?
Yes.
They built an actual mythical city with a rainbow road, and then built a real spaceship that flew into this weird plane of existence that then Idris Elba got bored and launched himself at and took down.
Yeah. That's exactly what we're saying.
There was no CGI.
No, well, I mean, you see the budgets of these fucking movies? What else are they going to spend the money on? Catering? Fuck off, get out of here. They're spending on building mythical cities in the sky at the end of a rainbow, and, like, building spaceships so that Idris Elba can just do what he wants.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have anything to add about Infinity War?
Good, go see.
Yeah, just go see it.
Yeah, it's worth watching.
Yeah.
And it made sense even if you've missed out a lot of the other Marvel movies, which is good, because the one thing I don't like about the Marvel Cinematic Universe is
you can't miss one.
Is that it feels like every new movie comes with homework.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, you want to watch the new Avengers? Oh, well, you've got to watch fucking Ant-Man. Like, I don't want to watch Ant-Man.
Honestly, that was the weakest part of Civil War for me. I thought, Paul Rudd's fine, but God, Ant-Man is so dreary. Yeah. I don't give a fuck about Ant-Man.
I have no idea about if the movie's any good. I just have no desire to
honestly,
watch
I
it.
just hope in Infinity War 2 they add the Punisher to the roster. So he's just walking around going, what the fuck? The fuck is that? He's getting really angry and doing the raw thing he does. And then beating, you can imagine, Thanos or some other big bad guy coming down and being like, I'm a bad guy. And him just fucking literally curb stomping them.
Actually, yeah.
And all the Avengers are like, fuck, this, oh, shit. Oh, dang. We need police. Where? Oh my god.
Honestly, I always forget that the Punisher takes place in the Marvel universe.
It takes place in New York as
because
well.
there is no way anything that happens in that series happens in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I don't believe it and do not buy it.
No. But no, I would like to see just Frank Castle loosed onto the Avengers movies. Just because it'd just be the most dissonant fucking shit. Oh. I just think they should put Frank Castle in everything. I don't know, nappy adverts. Your kid's shitting everywhere. Fucking blow them away. With a nappy. I don't kill kids. Where's my paycheck? Well, come on, it would be great.
You know what? I'm going to move on and I'm going to start talking about things that I've been up to.
Fine. I mean, no one's here for that. They all want to hear me postulate about the Punisher.
I don't know if they do, actually.
I think they do. Like, comment, subscribe for more legit Punisher headcanons. I don't know fucking...
Anyway.
What have you been up to?
Okay, I've done something I'm not proud of.
Okay.
That could be
good.
any manner of things.
I played more Fortnite.
Okay.
So we did a video of playing Fortnite, both the PvE and PvP
we did.
parts of it.
Yeah.
That was a difficult video for me to be a part of.
Yeah.
So you don't really care about Battle Royale at all.
No, it's like I can see that a lot of people seem to really like it, and what it does do, it seems to do very well. But I fucking hate that game.
Yeah, I'm trying to word this in a way to not insult people who like it. And if you like it, that's fine.
No, that's
But
the thing. If you like something, that's fine.
Bring out the worst in gaming's culture. Those sort of games. I don't know, there's just something quite nasty about quite a lot of people somehow involved in it.
I think it's just
And I'm by no means saying that everyone who plays it, or even the majority of people who play it, are bad or anything like that at all, before anyone gets upset.
Is it just what you've experienced personally?
Yeah, just from catching accidental bits of streams and things, and it's just the sort of, I don't know, yeah, there's something about the sort of streaming-y Fortnite, PUBG thing. I don't know.
I mean, I think my biggest issue with it is that you get this occasionally in free-to-play games where you'll go in and everyone else knows exactly what they're doing. And you don't know what you're doing, you have no idea what to do, where to go. We were spectating a guy in the video who, was doing things that took us seconds in, less than a second. Just, snapping back. It was okay, this isn't fun.
Yeah, people fly around like bloody Silver Surfer.
It's fucking insanity.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive, to be fair. But
I mean, it's impressive, but at the same time, it's absolutely impenetrable. It's like trying to get into a MOBA, 6 months, 2 months, 6 months down the fucking line. It's impossible because there's oh my god, there's all these fucking snobs there that know exactly, min-maxers who know exactly what to do. And if you don't do exactly how, if you don't play exactly how they think you should play, you're getting death threats. You're getting people threatening you and fucking spitting fire about your mum and.
Well, just to chime in as because I've
No, I'm
played
saying
it.
that there is an element of that. I'm not saying that's exactly what it's like.
But I did find a way to mitigate some of that element, because there is the problem when you play a game like that has a lot of very intricate mechanics that are not obvious.
I think there should just be a ranking system.
Maybe there is. I don't know.
I don't believe that there is, because you were thrown in with people like everyone who was fucking murdering you at the speed of sound was John Wick, and they had all these fucking specials, and they've been playing since it's been out.
Who knows? I don't know enough about it.
I'm just saying, it's like if they had a ranking system, like, so, like, I hate to keep bringing it up, but Overwatch is like, apart from Smurfs, which honestly, if you Smurf, I really do think less of you as a person. Apart from that, like, you being thrown into the mix with a bunch of other people who have no fucking clue what they're doing, and you're all learning togetger.
Yeah, but like I say, I have found a way to mitigate the worst parts of that.
Actively stop playing.
No. What I did, because I'm probably not going to go back and play it again, because it's really not my sort of game. But what I did was I played a little bit with my brother, who plays it a bit, and he plays on the Xbox One. I know. I'm sorry. We're getting him treated. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Joe.
The most painful part is that he's a good kid.
He's gone down a bad path. But so I played it with him. Now that meant that suddenly I was then playing on cross-platform.
Yeah, because it is cross-platform.
So then suddenly me with my mouse and keyboard started playing against people who knew what they were doing, but were playing on the 360 the Xbox One.
They were playing with like a 20 FOV. So they had no peripheral vision.
Yeah, it
and it took them about 20 minutes to turn left.
Turns out, as soon as I got a good opportunity, I got like a 7-player kill streak. Like, because I crept around the back of their base and just shot them all in the back of the head.
Yeah.
And the only reason I died...
they can turn around, but it takes them 20 minutes to turn 90 degrees.
And no one really killed me. I just fell off a mountain into the middle of a battlefield and was like, oh shit. Just because I wasn't used to how little traction you have on, like, certain planes on like, a hill. So it's like, huh... But yeah, I've played it more now. Like the PvE is kind of weird because it reminds me a little bit of Orcs Must Die.
Yeah, again, like a format I'm not really into.
I mean, I like Orcs Must Die. I just prefer Orcs Must Die.
I didn't say it's bad. I'm just saying it's not something I enjoy.
Yeah, but yeah, the Battle Royale thing, I've given it a fair shake now. Like I did, a handful of games for the video, and then I've since done a handful of games with my brother, and it's like playing it with friends. I can imagine you can have some fun, like playing as a group, because that's just true of any game. Playing it with your friends, really.
Any game, even bad games, are fun when you're playing with friends.
Yeah.
I mean, Dead Space 3 is fun with friends. Dead Space 3 is not fun.
It's not fun.
So yeah, I mean, I get it, like, from that kind of social aspect, but yeah, it's really not for me at all. It's fine. I have more interest to play it than PUBG, because at least when I look at Fortnite, bits of my brain don't start falling asleep.
Yeah, PUBG is incredibly generic looking.
Like, I'm sure PUBG's fine as a video game, but like just looking at it makes me very, very tired.
Yeah.
It's just so generic and out the box.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, I must reiterate, you there typing the angry comment, we don't think less of you if you like these games. It's just not something we like.
It's just not for us, but...
I hate the fact I have to fucking specify, but yes.
Well, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't hate the fact, or you wouldn't specify?
No, I wouldn't bother specifying.
No, I've had a couple of people fucking really get mad at me. And it's like, no, I'm not calling you an idiot for liking things, unless you're Hanzo main, in which case you're the worst thing ever.
See, now that's the one thing I do have to specify, because you get so genuinely, like, vengeful in how you sound when you talk about Hanzo.
Gee, I wonder why.
Maybe
it's because he is the biggest problem in my life right now.
I don't think
depression
he is
fine, anxiety is fine, just general life being shit's fine. But Hanzo? Fuck you. Fuck you.
Anyway, I'm going to move on to something a little bit more positive.
Yes.
Which is that Matt and I played some Gaslands on Tabletop Simulator.
What are you going to say? We're running away together.
We're running away together.
To play more Gaslands.
But anyway, we played Gaslands on Tabletop Simulator because obviously I'd wanted to try it, and Matt, you'd already tried it.
Yeah.
and I thought it was a lot of fun.
It
I
was.
was doing something way cooler while you nerds were playing Tabletop Simulator. I was putting together Warhammer, which I still feel is somehow less nerdy.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's a funny one.
I was putting together Space Wolves. That's pretty cool. Yeah, the kids like dogs, poppers, don't they?
They do.
They do.
They do.
Yeah, I'm hip and with it. Gaslands, discuss.
But yeah, I was quite surprised by how easy it was once you kind of got into it.
Yeah, wouldn't you? I mean, to clarify, so we played just like a race, and we had the same. We had a car and a buggy each, but we had the same. It was just a basic car, basic buggy with like a 360 machine gun on it, and that was
Yeah.
it. No, we didn't have bother with like sponsors or any of the various perks or any other equipment or like any of the audience things that happens or like there's all manner of extra complicated stuff. So we just did like proper basics for your first time.
Yeah, and like, I was looking at that like since we've played it, and it's like, okay, having played a really basic game, I think that helps you get like the base mechanics in your head, and then the extra stuff can then be added on top of that.
Because you only need to know about the bits that you choose.
Yeah.
So you can just sort of slowly add it in as you want.
So yeah, I may have gone out and already bought a small toy car to modify because I've already like worked out what my team would be.
You mean the spooky car that has your initials on it?
Okay, yeah, I ended up inadvertently buying a car that not only I didn't notice had my initials on it, but had a few other little bits of information hidden in sponsor details that is weirdly connected.
Specific to your life.
I'm not going to say what any of them are, but yeah,
it was a bit
weirdly specific, which I didn't
Haunted
notice.
Spoopy car.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's
so
like the soul of your grandfather, just being
trapped
like
in a car.
trapped in a car.
But yeah, so I've got that, and I'm going to go and buy a little Hot Wheels van at some point for the other car that I want to have.
Nice.
And then I'll have a chance to assemble those, and by the time you come into the country, then hopefully I'll actually finish painting at least one of them.
See, the best thing about that is that you've got a bunch of Warhammer bits, just like 40k bits, just lying around.
Yes.
The strap is like, yeah.
So I can make gun turrets and things fairly easily.
It's fantastic.
But yes, I quite enjoyed it, and I look forward to playing some more. But yeah, my team is going to be sponsored by Slime.
Okay. Cool.
Every time we go in town, there's like in toy stores and in like WH Smith's and shit.
Oh yeah,
there's
slime's the thing, isn't it? Yeah, slime is like trendy.
And like every time we go in, Matt's like, they've got slime in there. I'm like, yes, honey, they do. Yes, and you just keep you're obsessed with slime. I'm not even remotely surprised you are sponsored by the nebulous entity that is slime.
But I'm not obsessed with like slime. What I am is thoroughly unnerved that I walk into a shop and it declares it's slime time. Because
you said you liked that.
No, I don't. I don't want it to be slime time. If I had to pick a time, slime time would not be it. It would be not slime time.
The thing is, it's not even letting you know what slime time entails. It's just oddly threatening and looming over you. What is happening?
I am not happy with slime time.
Are you not happy with
I
slime
am not
time?
happy about it.
As an Australian, are your thoughts to slime time different? Slightly.
Are you saying that there's a slime time difference going on here?
No, but like, don't use the word slime.
Okay.
Like, actually, like, everyone knows what it might be, but don't you actually use that in Australia?
It means ejaculation.
Fuck off.
Which,
Fuck off.
everyone is guessing from the slime time thing, but no one actually
Really?
uses
Is that
as
where your brain goes?
Well, yeah, obviously.
I think of all those weird Instagram videos with women pushing, like, putty into a thing.
In my defence, I haven't
messing
been to
around.
any like kids' toy shops that declare it slime time. In which case, that might. I only heard you guys say it. So.
And to be fair, apparently you're always hanging around Australian brothels, so...
I don't know. Maybe slime time is a UK centric thing.
Yeah, who knows? I've not seen it. I've not seen it here in France, but then.
Or at least
France is safe for now.
Yeah, France has closed its borders to slime. So
maybe.
It's like Madagascar.
it is the Madagascar in this situation. They saw the slime threat early.
They saw the slime threat and they did not want to take any fucking chance. And I respect that.
They were like, we remember the ooze epidemic in the 90s after the Power Rangers movie came out.
Do you remember the fart putty that everyone would play with all the time?
I do remember the fart
And then it
putty.
would get hairy.
Is this not the same, basically?
I don't know.
There's various kinds of slime, as far as I understand.
Foam slime, and it's called. Is it called Floam?
Okay, I'm just going to say this. We are thoroughly degrading into old people get confused by children's toys.
Yeah.
So the kids love slime. What does it mean? We could Google it, but I'd rather get all of my news from Facebook.
That is literally what we're doing.
Yeah, fair point. Let's move on.
You know, I think next time we should go in and just talk to the person behind the camera. We're like, "Is it time?" And they'll be like, "That'll be the word. That'll be the phrase.
Oh.
The phrase. It's a secret society, and I don't like it, and I don't understand anything about it. But I'm extrapolating, and it frightens me."
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
So I think we should move on. Just to
Slime time.
just to cap off where that started. Gaslands, good. I will want to be playing more of it. Matthew, if you will indulge me at some point.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you said you'd sorted out your team, so yeah, I'll have a read through and do a points match, and yeah, we'll do a thing.
Good. And then one of us will find out that we built our team like shit.
Yeah.
And it'll be great.
Yeah. I have no idea what the current meta is for what's good and what's not.
I think you just build something that's fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Really.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we will pass over to the Snipe to see what you've been up to.
Well, currently I've just been trying to think of a pun on slime and Illuminati. And I can't think of it, but my brain did come up with...
Goo-luminati?
my brain came up with Illuminati.
Okay, that's a good pun for something completely different. But
Yeah, I know. I was like, that's really good, brain, but fuck, can I use it now? The Goo-luminati. That's a bit of a mouthful.
I just hope that that it being slime time doesn't mean we get a remake of Flubber.
That made my brain immediately went to those sex eggs.
Flubber was not a sex egg.
Or maybe it was. You don't know.
Can that be the episode title? Flubber was not a sex egg.
You know those sex eggs where they're just kind of like Nickelodeon gack, but they have like a little thing in it, and you basically just like pog slam it onto your dick.
Unfortunately, I do know what you're talking about.
You can get them in packs of 8 apparently, because
It's an egg.
you can't make a fap without breaking some eggs on your dick apparently. Okay, what have I been up to? Well,
Apart from destroying Matt's mind.
I've been up to all sorts of things, really good things, and they're gaming related too.
Oh.
That's
Yes. Well, I lied.
good. Oh.
I've been watching Aggretsuko on Netflix.
That's very good.
Have you heard of this, drama butt?
I have not.
Okay, well, it's a Japanese cartoon with Sanrio characters, like Hello Kitty and whatnot.
Okay.
So the main character is Retsuko, and she's like a cute little tanuki.
Your little red panda.
Little red panda. She's
yeah,
adorable,
okay.
and it's super sweet, and it's. I don't want to spoil anything. Well, I'm not going to spoil anything. The basic premise is spoiled in the trailer. So she's this adorable, sweet little kind of salary girl.
She's an accountant.
She's an accountant. She works really hard, and she's got a shitty boss, and the world is stacked against it. It's crazy real in certain ways. Like people above her will just dump work on her and be like, that's all you're good for," and shit like that. And the boss is just like, yeah, I like when women are weak and pathetic. It's super cute. Well, what her favorite thing is death metal.
Okay.
She fucking loves death metal, and what she does to vent is she'll go to a karaoke club and just do screamy death metal,
like full on,
proper screamy death metal. It was like the first episode, she the boss says something really fucking bullshit to her, so and then the heavy guitars start up is basically her kind of getting angry.
Okay.
And then she just starts screaming it's shitty boss, properly screaming about how he's just this dumb fuck. And actually swearing as well, calling him a dick and saying that he's a shitty boss. Which you wouldn't expect in such a cutesy kind of what you'd think was a kiddie orientated show.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I'm glad I got that out of my system. And then she just goes back to work. It's amazing. It's really cool.
The only it's kind of funny because it's one of the few cases where, because we watched the sub of it just because it's a Japanese show and that's just what we tend to do by default.
Yeah.
To just watch that.
Yeah.
Actually watched a bit of the dub after we'd finished watching it.
Yeah, I don't like Retsuko's voice actress. Well, I don't dislike it, but I think she's very stereotypical anime girl protagonist voice.
But the singing voice in the English one is way better.
It's so much better.
At least I prefer, because it's less screamy.
Well, yeah, in the Japanese one, it's just it's just like you can barely understand it. It is just screeching, and it's like, okay, that's not quite my jam. But you can actually kind of understand her in the English version.
Yeah, I prefer. I mean, I don't have a problem with like screechy, screaming vocals. I mean, if you listen to like half the music I do, they sound awful and sound like they've eaten a cheese grater. But
well, yeah.
Shout out to the crack rock steady bands. But yeah, I actually kind of prefer the English singer, even though I don't particularly like the voice acting for the other characters. Just the characterization's a bit different because of it, and I'm just used to the dub one now, the sub one. So,
yeah. But no, I can recommend Aggretsuko. It's very, very fun.
That is good.
It's such a great, like, the intro itself. If you want to see if you like it, just go and look at the intro.
Is it on Netflix?
It's on Netflix. Yeah.
Okay, I'll check it out.
But yeah, I can heartily recommend that.
The intro is adorable whilst you have metal playing and then a cute little dancing red panda going along to it.
Yeah, just like a little burst of blast drumming and her head is just like, she's like moving around to it. Like, it's a really cute little dance, like from side to side. And this is like, oh my god, this is perfect. So yeah, you can like metal and you can be super cute and lovely.
Yes, you can.
So it doesn't matter what,
Yeah.
Those things are not contradictory.
They aren't. Speaking of Netflix, I've tried to watch some Altered Carbon.
Okay, yeah. What did you think?
Oh, it's boring.
Yeah, I think that's what I said about it last time. I watched an episode. I was like, I want to like this, but I'm just really bored.
It's like, I mean, the thing is, it's picking up and running with the whole cyberpunk idea, but the majority of cyberpunk is the dystopia, yes, but like the big part is the aesthetic. And it's like, it has interesting looking bits, but it's just, I mean, the main guy is just so stoic and boring.
How many episodes you watched?
Yeah,
nearly 2.
Have you just seen the first episode, or did you power through?
I've been trying to watch, and I turned it off for the second one because
okay,
it's like the main character has moments of like cringy anime protagonist. You're like, oh yeah, I'm so dark. like that kind of like, oh yeah, I'm just grim and dark and I don't smile because if you smile you're like a low T beta or something. I don't fucking know. But it's just kind of like, it's like I don't care about any of these characters. Like all these characters are very cardboard to me. And I mean my favourite character is the hotel attendant. He was great.
Yeah, he was pretty cool. Yeah.
He was fucking great. I thought he was fantastic. But yeah, like all the rest of them, I'm like, I mean, the concept's interesting, but
is it the sort of thing
I
where...
don't know what, it's just not, it just does not grab me at all.
Is it the sort of thing where you're going to try and watch a few more episodes
I'm going to try,
and see if it...
Yeah. But it's a slog.
I do find it funny. It's rare to find a series that I feel like I should watch it now because I'm usually the one being dismissive of sci-fi.
No, the thing, I really want to like it because it's got some elements I'm like, that's really interesting.
Yeah. I've heard loads of people have recommended it to me and said it's good.
I've heard that the book is fucking dreadful.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was based on a book.
I didn't know it was based on a book.
Yeah, I've heard that, yeah, it's absolutely terrible, apparently. But, I mean, I don't know, I haven't read it. But no, I am going to try and persevere because I want more sci-fi in the world. It's good.
Well, now's a decent time. There is quite a lot of stuff on Netflix. And all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you watched the other one? It's called, like, is it like Expanse or something like that?
The Expanse.
Yeah, it's something. I mean, it's something like that. Netflix keeps telling me to watch it.
I've heard that's
the one
great.
with Elias Toufexis in it?
I don't
know. No idea.
I've heard it's good.
I can't remember.
I've literally just seen it on the recommended to you on Netflix, and I've not even given it a chance yet.
He keeps recommending The Expendables 3 to me, and I'm like, no.
Can you not?
No, don't. Because,
So apart from Altered Carbon, what else?
Played some Divinity Original Sin 2, which is the 4th game in the series.
What?
I've got this up. I've got the Wikipedia entry because I realised this and I wanted to point it out.
Please.
Okay.
So, the Divinity Original Sin 2 is the 4th game in the Divinity series.
Yes.
The games are, in order, Divine Divinity, Beyond Divinity, Divinity 2, and Divinity Original Sin 2. Divinity Original Sin was actually a prequel, and it also has a spin-off called Divinity Dragon Commander.
What?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would...
It is
I mean,
straight fucked.
To be fair, I would have put Original Sin, like, even though it's a prequel, I would still put that, you know, in terms of, like, series order, like, I'd still put that before Divinity Original Sin 2. Mm-hmm. But just seeing that written down, and the fact that Divinity 2 is the 3rd game in the series alone irritates me beyond all matter.
That's amazing.
And especially because none of them are just called Divinity either. It's Divine Divinity and Beyond Divinity. So Divinity 2 is a sequel to no other game that has the name Divinity. So is it as... I mean, I'm sure if you played it...
That's just because they're preempting that, you know, modern game series is you do, like, 7 or 10 games, and then you release the one just called Divinity. Because you loop back to the start, but they don't want people to get pissed off that there'll be 2 games with the same name then. So they're just like, they've just seen that in advance and they're just preparing for it.
So you're saying that...
So they're basically like Harry Potter movies.
So you're saying that, I think it was like 2009 or something, or maybe a bit later, like the Divinity 2...
They're in canon with the Avengers.
Like the Divinity 2 was released as the sequel to a game that will come out in 5 years' time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm just glad I've got a hold on this.
Because, like, you know, like Doom, you've got to specify which one, even though because there's 2 games, and Tomb Raider, and you know, that's just what games are now. You release them with the Xbox One, which is the 3rd Xbox. Like, it's just what series do eventually. So they just preempted it.
I don't know why the Illuminati are trying to make us all innumerate.
Stop trying to make the Illuminati a thing.
But it's...
Because it's not... Look, if it was a pun that was relevant to the situation, I'd let it slide, but it's not. You just came up with a pun, you don't know what to do with it because it's not applicable to any of the situations we've encountered. And you just keep rolling with it. You just keep going with it, and it's not going to stick.
Like rolled nuts?
What does that mean? What does that mean?
It's a nutty, 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 nutty world. We're nuts about nuts. I'm going to keep doing this until you write a manifesto in the woods.
You make out like I haven't already written a manifesto in the woods. I'm the type. So, is Divinity Original Sin 2 any good?
I like it. It's fun. It's just having basic knowledge of D&D makes it a lot easier to understand. It's a top-down kind of turn-based a role-playing game.
Oh, is it turn-based?
Yes.
Okay.
You have like God, where is it? Like where you it's a fucking Final Fantasy game. It's like a Final Fantasy X where you have the pictures of people and like where they go.
Okay, yeah.
And everything costs action points. You don't have a speed. It's like if you move if you move like 2-3 squares, that's going to cost you 2 action points. Whereas if you move like 5 or 6, it'll cost you 4. Things like that. Yeah. I've been
tabletop rules, basically.
Yeah, it's basically soft tabletop rules. It's not exactly the same, but I was playing with Longfang, and we were fighting a couple of bugs, and one of them ran past me, and basically I got an attack of opportunity because it went for him.
Huh.
And I was like, okay, I get this. So, like, there's crazy amount of fucking detail. You get, like, character sheets like you do in D&D. Okay. You can have, presets, and, like, you can play, like, pre-made characters, but I was like, nah, I want to play my own. And, like, you have stat distribution. There's a shitload of classes.
What class are you playing?
I'm playing as a metamorph. Because it's basically, like, I fight with... I don't know much about, like, what armor I can wear or can't wear at the moment. It would make sense that I could wear pretty much anything and it'd just kind of fuck with me if I wore, like, heavy plate or something like that. But a metamorph basically means I can... Well, I killed a bunch of turtles earlier by just screaming, and then my arms became tentacles, and then I pimp-slapped them to death.
Good.
I can turn things into chickens, or I can give myself bull horns and run at things full force, which is... Immediately I saw that ability and went, I gotta play a metamorph.
Can you turn people into chickens and then charge them?
Yeah.
Good.
I would think so.
Good.
But yeah, no, so that's quite fun. It's like, there's loads of different perks you can get. There's like roleplay perks, like Longfan took talking to animals. So like he starts talking to dogs and they're like, grr, bark, woof, don't like you, you're a source user, and he's like, alright, it's a bit racist, isn't it? And the dog's like, I don't know what that is, mate. I'm a dog.
I don't have any concept of racial consciousness.
We encountered a really dopey cat as well. Like, just talking to animals, it's like, that's just fucking straight RP. That's fantastic. And you get a lot of options to do certain things.
I am kind of shocked at you playing it, because this
is really not a game that I usually would be interested in.
like, because I mean, it's a little like say a Neverwinter Nights or something like that, isn't it? Like, I know from what you've told me, the combat there's quite different, but the general layout of how you interact with the game is kind of similar.
Yeah,
and that's not a game that I've ever really seen you play.
Yeah,
so it was a little bit like, oh, okay. I mean, it's no shade. You're allowed to play whatever you want. I was just a little surprised.
No, I've been trying to try new things, and that's like it. It's got a lot of tabletop kind of elements, and I'm like, now I understand it, because I remember trying to play Baldur's Gate back in the day as an angry little child who had no idea about tabletop games and was very impatient, and just immediately going, this sucks, I fucking hate it.
I can remember like my entire history of trying to play Baldur's Gate, which
Did you pick a wizard?
I picked a wizard, and then the first enemy you encounter who tries to just shank you in like a fucking barn somewhere just instantly murdered me because I had 4 HP.
So someone's going to come out of the woodwork now and go, well, actually, if you do X, Y, Z, it's like, look, okay, that's fine.
I know there will be a way to get around that, but I was like fucking 10 or whatever. Well, I
think I encountered the exact same issue.
But like, I didn't know what I was doing, and I had never played a game like that before, and it's too much for me.
It's overwhelming. That's the thing. It's like, this game, there is a whole lot of shit. So like, you remember the old Ultima bags? You can. I have
never in my life played an Ultima game.
Okay.
Yeah, likewise.
I have never been in the physical presence of an Ultima game except seeing Ultima 9 on shelves.
Well, we own an Ultima game.
Do we?
We do, because it was EA on the house bullshit. Basically, please use Origin.
Oh yeah, shit, we've got Pagan, haven't we?
Yeah. Switch is like one of the worst games.
Yeah.
But
I'll have to play that then.
But yeah, no, I have a bag of holding, and those work like Ultima bags, where it's just like you just look in a bag and it's got a grid of how many spaces. I've already started referring to it as the whole.
The whole.
No,
of course. Yeah.
Very good. But yeah, look, no, I've got to level 3 already, which is not very far. But I've been wandering around talking to everyone because everyone has something to say. Got a party together. I've got Ifan and Sibyl, the elf, and like just the random. There's like an old guy who's like heavily scarred, and I'm like, I want to be friends with you. You're amazing. And an elf who licked me. So this is like the first like hour of the game, like, because elves in this, if they consume body parts, they can see like stuff to do with the person's life.
So the Space Marines then?
Yeah, that's exactly what I fucking said. That is literally what I said. And like, I think you can, if you play as an elf, you can do that. But I played as a human because I'm boring and I want to kind of see how that's going. And you're in the ship and you talk to this elf and she's like rolling dice and you're like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm deciding fates. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting. And she's like, like I don't know how it came up, but it's not just, if I lick you, I can see what you did yesterday.
Hey, sometimes it happens. You go into a deep, dank place with strange
rolling some bones, and then suddenly you're licking each other, seeing the past. I mean,
it happens.
We've all been to Magaluf. You're not special.
Pretty much how the band got formed.
That's how we recruited Dicko, anyway. But yeah, and like she's like, yeah, no, I can eat flesh, and like I can see what you've done in your life. Hell, if I just licked your arm, I could tell you what you did last night. And I'm like, and it's like, either you can say like, yeah, go on, or get the fuck away from me and be really horrified. So I was like, yeah, all right. So I give her my arm, and she's like, properly going to town, and I'm like, yeah. Because there's a narrator, and it's like the she-elf grabs your arm and like rapidly drags her tongue up and down it with the restraint of a cat grooming someone. I'm like, okay, it's a bit weird. And then she looks at me and she's like, you've been dreaming about some guy you used to sleep with. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And literally everything's just like, yeah. Like, you've dreamt of love long lost. And it's like, yeah, okay, you win. Or you can be like, oh, how uncouth, blah. And it's like, that's really fucking weird. but
Yes,
really
that's-
fucking interesting. Another thing about, like, I really like the way that the elves are designed. They're not like super hot humans with pointy ears. They're like really lanky, weird looking things. And they're like really gamey and fucking strangely
Yeah,
built.
I've seen some pictures of them. They look weird.
And I
kinda
really like
it.
that. I really think that's very interesting. I do think that's very cool.
I quite like the interpretation of elves as
Creepy
not
kind of
just
aliens.
not just being hot humans what live a long time,
Yeah.
but of being these slightly odd, like
Gangly things.
subtly inhuman.
Yeah. It's
And
like
so-
Carillion from
Yeah.
Vermintide, how she's kind of got like a bit of a grey alien thing about her
Yeah,
eyes.
I
She's a
like
bit spooky.
I like my elves to exist very firmly within the uncanny valley.
Yeah, no. So they do that. There's some good design there. But yeah, no, I've actually been really enjoying that.
Oh, good.
Like got the hooks into me for the story.
Well, I imagine that we'll probably hear a lot about it over the coming months, because from what I understand, it's fucking long.
Well, yeah.
So
There's also a game master mode where you can make your own campaign.
Oh, cool.
nice.
Yeah, I've got to check that out because, oh my god, that sounds amazing.
That really does sound pretty good, actually.
Yeah. But no, I've been really enjoying that, and I'm looking forward to playing a lot more. What else have I been up to? Oh, speaking of Divinity Original Sin, because this is like one of Matt Mercer's favourite games, I've started listening to the Critical Role podcast.
Oh, yes.
Nice.
I've been meaning to get around to it, but the thing is, it's like been going for about 100 years, and every episode's like 3 to 4 hours long.
Yep.
It's a bit difficult to get into. It's like comic books, I guess. So yeah, they've recently just started a new campaign, so I've been following that, and I'm on like episode 2.
Nice.
Hey, it's something. It's something. But no, I've been really, really enjoying that. Shock horror, you guys. That stuff's actually, Critical Role's pretty good.
Shock horror, the person who spends a lot of time on this podcast talking about D&D quite likes D&D.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thunk it?
Uh,
But you don't want to talk too much about them, because then you're just advertising people that do what we do, but a lot better.
no, seriously, go listen to them. They're amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I have so many favourite characters so far. Like, Jester is adorable.
Yeah, she's. I've been listening through to the first campaign, or I started off watching it, but because it's nice to watch them when you can.
Yeah, because then you get the really weird facial expressions. Or the kind of,
Yeah.
when someone says something and Matt Mercer has to look at them like, are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
Is it, well, you can try.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm up to episode, I think, like 48 of the first campaign, or something
How many
like
episodes are there?
that. Oh god, there's like 150 odd or something stupid.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm sure I don't
Only
actually know, but
102
there's
to
like
go.
there's like, yeah, quite a few.
So that's the thing. So I just wish I had the time to sit there and just commit to listening to 153-hour episodes.
I mean, I guess those are the sort of things that you have to consume, sort of like how people consume things like
Netflix.
Well, not really Netflix, but like how people consume soaps, like where they'll watch.
Yeah,
they'll
you go
watch
and
several half-hour things of it, like throughout the week.
Yeah, but it's not half hour. It's three or so hours.
Yeah, but
every
how many do they put out a week?
100.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they put out, it's one episode a week-ish, but it's slightly less than that because sometimes they'll miss a week. So I've been like watching it over like lunch. I'll just sit down while I have my lunch and I watch like half an hour of it, and then through the week I'll have watched a whole episode. So I was vaguely keeping on track, and then sometimes they missed weeks. So I was like, if I keep at this rate, I might eventually catch up with what they are live in like 20 years or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what I've been doing.
but
I've
then
just been putting them on when I go to the
Whenever
gym.
I'm gone home or do something, go back to the UK or do something and miss a week, it's just like, well, that's put me back off schedule again. So
Yeah.
I really want to start. I watched the first episode of the newest campaign, but I was like,
Campaign 2, New
they're
Beginnings.
completely separate, but at the same time, I have to finish the first one before I watch that because
Well, they've been really good, and they've straight up said that they're not going to be spoiling anything from the first campaign.
no, I know,
So-
I know that, and I know in theory I should watch it, but also,
Hey, dude, you do you. I ain't give a dang.
You've backed yourself into this impossible to achieve corner, and we're not going to argue you out of it.
exactly.
That's fine. I tried to give you a way out, but fine. Fuck me. But yeah, apart from that tabletop stuff, I did a very silly thing. I bought another box of wolves.
Yeah. Because you were getting dangerously close to actually maybe having enough of your army finished that you might actually show it to people.
Well, maybe I'm shooting myself in the foot because I'm massively nervous about that.
Maybe.
Although, I mean, I ain't a brain doctor, so the fuck do I know?
So is the plan that you'll show it to everyone once you're finished?
Yeah.
So this is...
Well,
okay, right.
once I get more finished.
Yeah.
I've had people just going, oh, yeah, maybe you show it now, dumb fuck. And I'm like, see, now that makes me not want to show it. But yeah, a couple of people have gotten kind of nasty with me about it, and I'm just like, well, that's not helping.
Yeah.
So, maybe don't. If you want to look at wolves so much, there's way better painted ones out there. Fucking Google it, see if I can...
Like, I mean, the only reason I showed off my army, and you might notice that I only showed off the painted ones, so I do have a handful of unpainted models as well, was because I had most of them finished.
Yeah.
So I was kind of happy to show them off.
See, a lot of my army isn't even my own, because I've just, stripped a lot of paint off it from Wibb's old Dark Angels, so they're all basically just Space Wolf coloured Dark Angels, and, I had the Black Reach set, which were fucking awful models.
The Dreadnought's alright.
The Dreadnought's fine, but, oh god, especially if you want, a Space Wolf army, it's just, these guys are just people painted up.
Yeah.
And and it kind of, it feels bad. And I've got a pack of I bought a pack of Space Wolves, and I'm going to paint them up as Grey Hunters so I can phase out a lot of my Black Reach kind of mono pose kind of bullshit, and actually have more agency of my army. And I'm kind of really enjoying that right now. So.
Well, it's we got you a couple of fun things. So to go in your Grey Hunters.
Yeah.
I can't remember his fucking name, but he's the special character from the Death Watch board game.
Oh shit.
Who's going, because I mean he's just got a fucking bolter and a chainsaw. He has a knife as well, but who gives a fuck.
I'm
he's
putting him
pretty
as
much
a Grey Hunter.
He's pretty much just a Grey Hunter, but he has the Death Watch pad, so it's
and that's super cool.
So you can have
he has the worst head. Well, not one of the Space Wolves have some terrible fucking heads.
Yeah,
I've cut down so many stupid haircuts so far. I really have.
Even though you don't need to, because you get about 40 heads in that packet.
No, it's the principle of the thing.
I don't know why you're insisting...
the Shia fucking haircut. It's
I know, but
what is that?
Well, I don't know why you're spending so much time fixing heads.
Because it's my army.
Okay. But you don't have to use the bad heads to begin with.
Well, they're not bad heads. They've just got shit hair.
Oh, you don't have to use the ones with the shit hair.
Don't tell me how to build my army.
Oh no! I'm just saying that you don't have to use them.
I'm aware.
Okay. All right.
Is it so shocking to you that maybe I want a little degree of customization about my army?
No.
Custom stuff. Mr. fucking truck builder. Why'd you build all those trucks for? You could have just, I don't know, spray painted a motherboard.
There's some rough custom orc stuff out there.
Yeah.
Oh,
but I mean, the rougher it is, the more legit it seems. So.
Oh no, that's not true at all.
Okay, right.
Pretty sure I saw someone spray paint a Coke can.
Okay, basically there's
I'm not even joking. I think pretty sure there's someone put wheels on a Coke can. I was like, this is my truck. It's okay.
When it comes to orc vehicles and orc tech, I think there is. I mean, do whatever you want with your arms, it doesn't matter, but...
Apparently, you can't change the hairstyles, though.
No, you can do whatever you want. I just don't... I don't understand the time and effort when you have a wide variety of heads you have.
Because I can put the time and effort in.
Okay, fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. But when it comes to orc vehicles... But when it comes to orc vehicles, I don't... Some people will just take a toy and then slap a few panels on it and then do it as a truck or whatever.
Like a baby born.
And it's
put a rocket launcher on that fucking kid.
And that's that's fine or whatever, but there is a certain aesthetic to making a rough looking orc vehicle that isn't just making something look like shit. It actually takes a bit of
I'm gonna use your favorite word here. You gotta put effort in and adhere to the aesthetic of ramshackle.
Yeah.
You can't just go, I'll just stamp on a Matchbox car and then there we go. Although, if you want to do that, I mean, it's not going to stop you.
That's the thing. You can do whatever you want. I'm not going to stop you. I have on many occasions basically been against gatekeeping in the hobby and indeed things in general.
Okay, I'm just going to say it. If you don't actively say that you're against gatekeeping, then you can't be against gatekeeping. You're just not doing it right.
All right.
Oh, come on, that joke was very funny.
I'm not sure it was. I think that was just a bit too real.
Drama is uncharacteristically silent.
I honestly didn't realise it was a joke.
Oh. I was gatekeeping about gatekeeping.
Yeah, okay.
That's the joke.
Yeah. But...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I get it.
Again, like not to cast shade on anyone's thing, but to get an orc vehicle and to make it look like it belongs in the current model range does require more effort than just slap some panels on a toy car, you know.
Yeah. You suggesting making a model completely from scratch isn't easy?
Yeah, those entire cadre of buggies that I made, I did that in just a fucking afternoon for a lark.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you have any thoughts about the wolves that you've got?
I like how wolfy they are.
They are quite wolfy.
I think a lot of the problem with space wolves is that sometimes they can be too detailed.
Okay.
And they just look messy as fuck.
They do tend to over-detail them with wolf bits sometimes.
They do, and it's like, okay. So I've kind of mixed in a few kind of just standard marine parts just to deconcentrate the excessive wolf pelts, runes, and other bullshit just strapped onto them.
Yeah, fortunately we do have a stack of just spare marine bits. So
yeah, and I'm finally getting over my debilitating fear of super glue.
Yeah, I accidentally listened to one of these super glue episodes. I do apologise for jumping in at the wrong time.
Oh yeah, no, I was just like, what?
yeah, while we were playing Gaslands.
Did I accidentally put out a bunch of stuff on my own channel, which I need to get back to, about me just fucking hating super? What the fuck? I was like,
a 40-minute diatribe about how much you hate superglue was uploaded.
What's so super about it anyway? It's fucking so
It's
bullshit.
super bad glue.
Yeah, superbly bad. I lost it, but yeah. No, super glue is terrifying to me.
No.
It's horrible. Had a really bad experience when I was a little girl.
The problem is that I just use superglue for everything because I hate
He puts
plastic
it
glue.
on toast. He stirs his tea with it.
And because
That's how he fucking shaves.
because you so rarely had to use the glue, I just kept superglue around. I never bothered to keep plastic glue because I didn't use it. So what was the point of keeping it around? Whereas now it's okay, if you're putting all this stuff together, then yeah, we'll have to go get some plastic glue.
From what I remember, I dramatically prefer plastic glue to super glue. Super glue, sometimes you hold it for 10 minutes, it just doesn't stick for some reason. And it's
Cauldrons have been getting me like that.
It's just why is this not... What? It's glue, but it's just not gluing. And then you accidentally touch something else and you're stuck to it. And you're like, this makes no sense. As plastic glue, because it melts the plastic a bit, it just sticks really well.
Yeah, but it physically damages the parts to do so.
It does.
So I think it's because of making a lot of orc stuff that kind of did this to me. Because I'd have to make custom parts for things, and then sometimes you'd end up in situations where you needed to remove it to realign stuff.
Okay, right. Yeah,
Super glue was a lot easier because if it was with plastic glue, it'd be melted together and it'd get more damaged and.
But yeah, my biggest problem that I'm encountering is that I can't build majority of my boys because the fucking codex isn't out yet.
Yeah.
So I can't do fucking anything. I can glue just standard bolter boys together, but anything more fancy, I'm just gonna sit there going, well, I've got a great model all blue tacked there. Can't do a fucking thing about it.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the basics of how a Grey Hunter squad goes together is not probably going to change, but...
Well, they took Flamers out of Bloodclaw squads, so now I've got 2 characters that I just can't fucking use.
Yeah, well, that's just new addition for you.
I know, and
that
it's
always
bum.
Happens.
Not a fan.
Hey, at least you don't have 3 full vehicles that are fucking useless now.
Okay, you know what? You win. You win.
I want my looted wagons back, people. I will never let this go.
No,
I know.
that's fair.
I will never, ever let this go.
Moving on, so Wib can let this go. Draw Matt, what have you been up to?
Letting things go left, right, and centre. I have.
Oh, see, like a good, healthy, well-adjusted person. I see. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, including my apparently memory of that we were doing this podcast today and not tomorrow.
Nah.
Well, the thing is, we can't do it tomorrow because you're on a plane at this time tomorrow.
I will be. Yes, I'm coming back to the UK to see the Harry Potter play, yo.
I thought you said yeah.
I'm doing a
See
dance
Harry
which
Potter movie.
doesn't work
I'm
in...
sure you can get them on DVDs, dude.
My dance that I'm doing doesn't work in podcast form, but appreciate that I am currently
Describe
dancing.
it to us.
I'm just waving my arms around so as not to move the squeaky chair, because it's, again, audio. So I'm trying to do a relatively quiet dance.
So you like slow-mo flailing.
Yeah, basically.
He's waving his hands in the air.
But he cares a lot.
But he cares a
I
lot.
care a lot, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Wave your hands in the air like you actually give a massive shit about the future and it keeps you up at night. Yeah.
Matt, talk to us about things that aren't this.
Cool. Video games. I finished Fallout
Good.
Which one?
4.
Oh. Does that have
The
a
one he's been
Fallout?
I've been
playing for
playing.
months.
For
I
like...
know, but someone might not know that in the audience.
Fair point.
Yeah, true.
Fuck off. Jesus H.
I put in 114 hours to finish
Into
More than
what?
I did.
because I did quite a few side quests. And
You are a side quest demon,
I did
dude.
quite
Come on.
enjoy it. It was quite good. It's a bit weird. It's one of those ones where it's like I really enjoyed it all the way through, but now looking back, I enjoy it less retroactively because of the ending. I think,
Huh.
and not
Well,
because
the
the ending
ending
was bad. But so I won't go into too details. Like I mean, people, if most people who want to play it will have played it by this point. But I won't go into details about what happens. But it's like it just has the thing of like it builds up this big ending. And you've got all the side quests and things, which I got distracted by doing. And then you finally get to actually doing the quest and finishing it. And then it's finished. And you go like, right, okay, cool. So this side quest that you need to do. And it just gives you the same bunch of side quests that you've been doing before. And nothing's changed. And you're like, but I've just like, I was expecting some sort of, reward for beating the big bad.
Like, you have fundamentally changed the politics of the area you're functioning in.
And it would have been so easy, like, for them to be like, okay, and then that's the game's finished. Or something, I don't know. But just the fact that it was like, immediately, right, okay, there's still work to do. There's all these quests, which are exactly the same as the quests you were doing, like the various fetch quests and go to this place and kill this thing that you were doing before.
Yeah.
And I was like...
Yeah.
And, like, just because of that, like, I enjoyed the game all the way through. I really enjoyed, like, pretty much everything about it. But I have such a sort of like overall thoughts of it just because of that at the end, and it's completely like tainted my enjoyment, like retroactively tainted my enjoyment of the game, or at least how I'm thinking about it. It's
I can sort of understand that. I didn't get it as bad as that, but I do totally understand what you mean, because you did the same ending I did, didn't you? You went down and followed with the railroad.
Yeah, the not racist one. Tell me I'm wrong. Like, come on.
There's some allegory going on.
Yeah, and I didn't want to be on the wrong side of history, unlike seemingly a lot of people at the moment.
The allegory thing, where like a lot of people won't get it.
Yeah, I went with the railroad as well, because it was like, well, everyone else is kind of being a massive wanker. So,
and like, I still helped out the Minutemen as well, because that's like a separate. You don't have to exclude them to go with any of the other factions. They kind of just do their own thing. So,
anytime, this is off topic, of course, because I'm speaking. Anytime I hear the word Minuteman, I remember a phrase I read on DeviantArt.
Oh god.
Where some girl kept drawing herself fucking Waluigi.
Right.
And somebody left in the comments, Waluigi confirmed unsatisfying Minuteman. That's just what every time I hear the word Minuteman, that phrase pops into my head.
Waluigi sex.
I do.
Unsatisfying Waluigi sex.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it wouldn't ever be satisfying, would it?
Wow.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think Waluigi would fuck like a demon.
Shrieking wows left, right, and centre.
Shrieking, and it's definitely a sin.
So you've been working on the railroad all the live long day because the rest of everyone else is wankers.
Yeah, pretty much.
The rest of everyone else is wankers.
Yeah. I was just going to go with it, but
Yep.
Go with it. Keep moving. Keep moving. Fuck
but
it.
no,
We'll do it live.
thinking back to the actual gameplay, I did really enjoy it.
I'm glad.
I mean, I think I probably missed quite a bit of the like, because once I found my nice silenced pistol and nice silenced sniper, I didn't really go for any of the other fancy weapons you start unlocking near the end, because I was like, well, these are all bullshit. They give away my position.
Yeah.
And
If
I'm
it
already
helps-
headshotting people in one shot, so like, what's the point?
I hear that.
If it helps regarding the ending, from what I understand, Fallout 3 has an absolute shite ending as well.
It
Well, I
does.
can't remember it, so
It's shit. That's why.
I did finish it, and I can't remember it, so it suggests it wasn't like completely awful.
Maybe
but-
it was either not completely awful, unmemorable, or it was so terrible you have like psychologically blanked it out because it was so terrible.
Yeah. One of the above, I can't remember.
Yeah.
But no, looking back to before the ending, and it's not even as if the ending's that bad. Like, it's just somewhat like coloured my opinion of it somehow, and I don't quite know why exactly.
Well, it's because it rather than giving you a satisfactory ending to things, it basically went, okay, you have beaten the big bad, you have changed the world. Here's a bunch of side quests to do afterwards, and then once you've done them, you realise those side quests were pointless faff, and so it feels like the game was saying almost your reward was to just do more little faff.
Which,
And
like,
do more
I know
fetch
in the real world, once you've done a thing, life continues and it carries on and people still have problems, and I fully appreciate that. But
that's not how a narrative
it's a
works.
video
No,
game.
exactly. It's exactly, yeah. So, and like the sort of vague twist that comes along, which I won't mention. Even mentioning there's a bit of a twist. It's not a twist, but it's information.
I saw
you find
that
out.
shit coming up.
You,
Fucking
like you just see that
mile
right at
away.
the start. So you're like, well, yeah, this
You
is,
can,
yeah, like
yeah.
obviously, like. So
Like, yeah, like I put money on like fact pretty much 99% of people who played it. Well, I'd say anyone who was paying attention while playing it would immediately have snagged that.
yeah.
Just like, yeah, no, that's what's gonna happen. This is a thing,
Yeah.
and everyone's fucking correct.
But no, I did really enjoy it up until that point. I'd be probably tempted to play it again just to go through down being a dick route, which is good. Because I can never do that the first time I play a game. I always have to take the the Paragon or the nice option because I just feel guilty being a dick, even though it's a game. And I like to think
have
that
tried to do that.
I like to
with
think in
Mass
real
Effect.
life I'll try and be nice. So therefore, in a game, I should do something that I don't get a chance to do usually. But I just can't do it.
No, dude, I'm exactly the same with Mass Effect but I'm even worse. So like, I go through and I go Paragon because I just like that, and then I'll be like, I'll create a new character who's a jerk, and then I can't do it because being mean makes me feel bad.
Yeah.
I think the only game or game series where I'm totally fine with being a dick is the Fable series, and I think that's because no one in those games behaves like a human. So, like,
Well, they are what Peter Molyneux think humans do.
I think that's it. I
Yeah.
think I'm being dicks to tiny Peter Molyneux, and I can deal with that far easier than like a normal person.
Tiny Peter Molyneux. You're right.
I don't like the idea that there's multiple ones of him, but other than that, I
It's
approve
like-
of that sentence.
It's like, like the all the miniature ashes in Army of Darkness. It's just like that with Peter Molyneux.
Oh god.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Stuff of nightmares. God, that reminds me. I had a horrible nightmare last night, where
Was Peter Molyneux involved?
worse. No, actually, it was way better than. Peter
I was going to say,
Molyneux.
because even if he's involved, then this dream is going to get totally overhyped.
It was the best dream I ever had, y'all. Seriously, it's still happening. You're involved in it too. Yeah, whatever. But no, it was like I was wandering around this weird old kind of looking like overgrown facility because I can never dream normally. And someone was like, "There's stag beetles out here," and I'm like, "Cool." I mean, they're a bit spooky, but I think stag beetles are pretty cool. Yeah, then I started go looking for stag beetles, and then as I'm getting closer to this compound, all these stag beetles that I'm looking for are actually giant black tarantulas.
They're not very good stag beetles.
They're not very good stag beetles, and I'm like, shit, there's a lot of fucking tarantulas around here. Dang. So I get into this, like, it's like a sheer concrete kind of wall that kind of has like a hole in it, and I go over there, and one of them drops on me. And it's like...
Did it have Peter Molyneux's face?
It had a face. It had this really disfigured fucking face.
It was an animal.
And it
with
was-
You're not saying... Yeah, you're not saying it's not Peter Molyneux's
No,
face.
no, no. It was kind of like it looked like something from the Binding of Isaac. It was like
Okay.
it's like its lip was all kind of fucked up. Its face. It had like teeth randomly jutting out of its mouth, and it had like a big couple of black eyes, and it was just going for me. And then I smushed it, and then suddenly there were hundreds and thousands of them, all kind of like coming at me, and I was like, oh shit, I missed the stag beetles.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's coming to PlayStation 4.
Okay, what's that
next
got to
fall.
do with Peter Molyneux?
It just reminded me of how deeply unpleasant he is.
Oh. Okay.
Hang on, did the dream reminded you of Peter Molyneux, or just us talking about Peter Molyneux being unpleasant reminded you of the dream? Because I was imagining you waking up in the morning, like having that dream and being like, "Oh God, Peter
I
Molyneux."
didn't wake up.
is
I woke
awful."
up fucking thrashing, dude. I was like,
Okay.
Peter Molyneux is in my dreams again.
But he wasn't. though.
Heck.
Even in my dreams, I see that man.
Okay.
My restless dreams, I see that man. No, it's like I was going into I was going to the Lionhead offices for a job interview, and he just dropped the spiders with faces on me. It was terrible.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Just cut it out. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
Anyway, on from Peter Molyneux.
And
We
his
can't get
famous
past-
game Fallout 4.
Yes. Peter Molyneux's most famous game, Fallout 4.
Maybe that's why I'm disappointed by it.
Yeah. You know, I wrote New Vegas, right?
No, we're not starting this again.
The other game I finished in the last fortnight is Slime Rancher.
Oh, good.
I say finished.
That
There's
game
like
has an end?
yeah, it's there's like a full like credits ending, which just happens arbitrarily at some point, basically.
It just randomly happened
pretty
30
much.
hours in.
Well, it's not really arbitrarily. It's once you reach the end of the narrative.
Yeah, but the narrative you just
arbitrarily.
arbitrarily get some emails every like few days or whatever. It doesn't matter what you've been doing. I don't think. You just you've hung out for a while, and eventually you get enough emails to complete the story.
That's not how it works in real life. Trust me, I've tried.
Which is fine. I'm not criticising. It's quite funny that you don't really have to do that much for the ending for that ending.
Oh yeah.
But like I've got all the slimes, and I've unlocked
Fucking slime
basically
time.
everything. Yeah, it's more slime.
Slime Rancher is the only slime time I will actually be happy with.
That's
if
fair.
if slime time meant that we were going to go live in the world of Slime Rancher, I'd be okay with it.
Okay.
I have not quite finished. There's a couple of like there's that the what they blatantly call out as being like money sinkholes. The rewards club thing. There's like 2 levels of that which I haven't got. It will just involve me grinding for a few like in-game days to like feed things, harvest things, and then sell stuff, which I can't be bothered to do. And there's a couple of the treasures. Like, I found all the treasures on the like main bits, but there's some treasures in one of the side areas where there isn't a map for, which I haven't found. But other than that, I finished I think everything. And yeah, quiet you.
Calm.
And yeah, it's it's a very satisfying game to play. I'm saying there's not that much depth to it. There is a surprising amount of depth to it somehow. Like I found myself thinking about it quite a lot when I wasn't playing it, even though there's not that much to think about. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, it's a funny one. That like officially there is not that much to it. You get slimes, you breed slimes, you get the plots, sell the plots, and that's about it. And you just use the things that you get to explore more in a sort of Metroidvania-y kind of way. And by unlocking the, different ways of movement, like your jetpack and stuff. And yeah. But but also there's a lot to do, and it takes a long time to actually see a lot of it. So
yeah, and seemingly they're still like doing updates, because like one of the areas you were talking about last time I mentioned it, with the like side area that you do some things eventually unlock a bit. There's another one of those since you were playing, with a whole new set of events, and like the newest update added quite a lot of stuff like the week before I started playing. So they do seem to be still adding things to it, which is quite nice. So I'm sure I'll come back to it at some point, and try out those next time they do an update. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was very good. I can see why you liked it so much last year.
Yes, it is a good video game.
Game of the year. My new game for the Fortnite that I've been playing. I've had it downloaded for ages, and I finally started playing LA Noire.
Oh, good.
Yes.
LA Noire is half a fantastic game.
It really is.
Yeah,
I thoroughly enjoyed half of it.
Yeah, I remember you saying. I think I'm about halfway through, so we'll see.
Okay,
because
stop playing
I've
then.
done because you go through there's various different like departments that you're in.
Yeah.
And I've done 2 of you do the first few missions just a beat cop, so that doesn't count really. But I've done the first 2 desks, and I finished those, and I've just moved on to the 3rd desk.
Is the 3rd one Homicide?
No, that's the 2nd one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, despite it being
I
the like highest actual ranking, it's the 2nd desk.
Yeah. Because I think it's the Homicide one. When you start dealing with the serial killer.
Yep.
I thought that was fantastic.
And you solve that, and the point that you solve that is the highest point of the game, and it's all downhill after that.
Yeah, I'm kind of expecting that. Like that definitely felt like a end of the game, and I was like, oh no, I'm like halfway through it or something.
Yeah.
I don't actually know, but I know there's 2 more desks. I don't know how many more missions
Yeah.
are. It's quite interesting that a lot of the DLC missions are just added in throughout, because when you go to replay the missions, it says like there's like stars by some of them or something. It's like these were added in as DLC. So I was like, oh, there's a load of extra stuff.
Yeah, I've never actually played any of the DLC missions, honestly.
Well, I didn't think I would, but they're just in the game, and I didn't notice until I looked up a walkthrough for one bit, and I noticed that like pretty much half the missions in the game are like DLC missions. You just don't notice.
Okay.
So.
But yeah, what are you thinking of the game overall?
Yeah, it's I was really enjoying it. And I quite enjoyed the you start off as after the beat cop, you do like 1 or 2 missions as a beat cop, but after you actually start doing the detectoring stuff, is that the right word? Detectoring? Yeah, detectoring. I'm sticking with it. After you start detectoring stuff, I quite enjoyed it, and like, you've got like, because I think on the first desk, which is the traffic one, which is all still just murders, which I don't quite understand.
Traffic.
Why
it's
traffic and not homicide.
It's Hollywood land. What do you expect?
Anyway, whatever. I thought that because that gave you the impression of like, if you missed bits or you asked people the wrong questions or guessed their responses wrong or whatever, like it seemed to have like an impact, and like you could miss stuff and then like arrest the wrong person, or it just gave that sort of thing that you weren't just basically playing a load of quick time events, and if you failed it didn't matter. But I don't know,
you weren't staring at faces for 20
on
minutes.
the murder-ons, or the homicide desk, I got to the end of it, and I don't know if I just had a realisation or whether it's true or not, but I just got to the point where I was like, it doesn't really matter what I do, and if I cock up here, it's just the outcome's going to be the same at the end. And once I
that section does kind of let you know there's some messed up stuff, like you've arrested a lot of the wrong people.
Yeah, but even before, like, I guess this is like sort of spoilers for this, so I guess if you don't want to know, you've already mentioned there's a serial killer thing. But that's sort of hinted at the whole way through. You arrest people, and then the next crime happens, and it's basically the same. So it's sort of hinted at all the way through. But sorry if anyone hasn't played it.
It's been out for quite a while.
Yeah.
And it's not even like that's the end of the game. That's not even the story of the game.
Okay, yeah,
really.
Okay. Yeah, well, I don't know what happens next, because that's just the bit I've finished. But it was just, even before you sort of... Okay, big spoiler alert, so skip forward 10 seconds. Before you find out it is the serial killer that's done it all, and you catch him. Like, so even before you realise that, okay, all of the arrests you've done are wrong. It's like, I don't know, there's something before it where you're still like, well, I don't know. I was enjoying it, and then I sort of did this whole thing where I was like, cocked up a bit, and then the same thing happened. So I went through and replayed a mission just to see if I could get a better score. And basically the exact same thing happened, apart from at the end, the captain said, oh, you've done good, instead of, oh, you've done bad, even though exactly the same outcome happened.
I think the biggest problem with it is that, apart from the fact it's too long, if it was like 10 hours long, then you probably wouldn't notice it in your first playthrough, that your choices don't particularly matter. But the thing is, they've got a story there, and for the half of it, they've got a solid story. And then they try and give you this mechanic that is kind of supposed to give you this ultimate freedom, and you can arrest whoever you want. But at the same time, they can't tell the story that they want to tell if they have that mechanic. So they have to railroad you at some point. And it just makes it feel massively... What's the word? Just disingenuous? Like helpless. Like, your shit doesn't matter. The game's going to go on and do whatever it wants.
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
But yeah, I think just having it be a bit shorter would alleviate that, because it really starts setting in around that.
I will say what you're doing doesn't matter. If I remember correctly, does start to die away as you get through the game, because the actual stakes that you're working with and how easy it is to fuck up get harder, and it's actually possible to really fuck yourself over by doing it bad. So
okay, that's interesting. That's good.
And I seem to remember you end up at just times where it's like, no, you need to go back and do it again. You fucked up. Too bad.
Okay, right.
I seem to remember this one. Maybe I'm misremembering, because it was a long time ago. Which again
kind of ruins the whole, choose and accuse whatever you want. It's still railroading you.
Yeah, absolutely. But it solves one of the issues.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm still enjoying it, but I just...
absolutely. It's a very
in the last couple of cases, I've just been sort of getting a bit of a feeling of like, okay, maybe it's not quite as good as I think it... I was giving it more credit than it deserved, I think.
How do you feel about the inclusion of the sandbox?
Oh, I just haven't bothered.
That it's completely pointless.
Yeah, I just haven't.
I think it's because it's a Rockstar game. They're like, shit, we need to build a sandbox.
Like I accidentally clicked, because it comes up through, you're driving around in between a case, and you're like, sirens on, going somewhere important, and then something comes over the radio being like, oh yeah, there's been a crime reported here or whatever, and I accidentally left clicked at that, at one point to like accept it, and I was like, oh, I need to be going over here quick, but now I need to go and just arrest some random person, which you pretty much always resolve them by just shooting them. Pretty much,
yeah.
And like they just die.
What I always
like,
used to do is...
You're like, you're this hero cop who's solved all these things, but you also just get gunning down random people who might have done a bad.
jaywalking.
You're like, I'm fairly sure. I mean, I don't know. Maybe American police is like this, which yeah. So I mean, maybe it's fair, but I just didn't
Cole
like
Phelps murder machine.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah. So yeah, I haven't bothered with any of those apart from the one I accidentally did.
Yeah, I mean, it's the funny thing is, like, I remember when I was playing through it, and I was like, the first half of it, I loved so much, I was like, this could be one of my favourite games. Like, not my favourite game, but in that top, 10 bracket, I liked it that much, and it was just everything that happened in the second half of it just dulled my enthusiasm for it so much, because I do really like a lot of it, even the flawed parts, Yeah. I liked what they were trying to do, even when they didn't achieve it.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm enjoying it. I've only just started on the third desk, so if it is starting to go downhill or whatever after halfway, I'm about to experience that. So yeah, I'll get on that and I'll report back next time.
Okay, cool.
My just very last quick one is that so I've been home alone for the last just under a week, which is why I got you to play.
How many burglars have you outright murdered in cold blood?
Well, I haven't had any burglars.
Then you haven't really been home. You haven't really been home alone.
Okay, yeah. Fine. It took me an alarming amount of time to get onto what you were doing.
Yeah, it really did.
Because you were probably just expecting us to ask, well, how close to utter dehydration have you got from wanking yourself to death?
Have you given yourself calluses yet?
On my hand?
You got the death grip.
Is it like wanking with a gardening glove? That's what I'm asking.
Anyway, yeah.
He's gonna come back to the UK and his right arm's gonna be 3 times the size.
It'll look like the charger from Left 4 Dead 2.
Just what? Do you double fist? Okay, maybe that's a bit too personal.
Yeah, no one needs to know that about my fisting schedules.
What were you going to say, Matthew?
I've watched in the last. I'm not willing to say how many days, but it's been less than a week. All 4 seasons of Arrested Development again. Yeah, I've fallen down quite a hole, so to speak. Have you ever seen it?
I have not. No.
It's the first 3 seasons are like the original ones, and they're like just great. Like it's such. Yeah, it's American comedy that's not American comedy. Like it's not just really obvious and repetitive. Like a lot, not all. Except not all, but a lot of American comedy.
It's the American style of humour that sometimes we might not get on very well.
Yeah, like as a British person, or as a not American, like saying something that's a bit funny, but then repeating it 8 times until it doesn't do it for me.
It doesn't particularly cross the international punchline.
No, but this is not like this. Is just like there's so many subtle jokes that you just don't notice. They're just like in the background, and they're like the best bits, and they're just you hardly notice them. You're like, hang on, did that? Oh, okay. Yeah, and the first 3 seasons were really good. The 4th season was like its hands were tied somewhat because all of the people in it. It was like I don't know if you know anything. Like the first 3 seasons were like 2003 or something, 3, 4, and 5 or something around then. And then Netflix did a new series like 2013, so like nearly 10 years later. And a lot of the actors in it are a lot more famous and busy now. So the 4th season was kind of like, rather than just having an ongoing story, it like tells one story in over an episode, and then each episode is sort of from a different character's perspective. So it's really clever, and it is interesting, like because you don't know what's fully happening until you've watched the last episode, because that fills in some gaps that you missed from the first episode. So it is quite clever, but it's not as good as it's just not the same and not as good as the first 3. But the first 3 at least are definitely worth watching.
Okay.
And I actually saw this morning because they're doing a 5th season, which is going to be more like the original ones apparently, which is coming out later this year. And then also they've just announced this morning, which I guess is slightly last week for when everyone's listening, that the guy who made it's done a recut of the season 4 to make it sort of make it more into like the original 3 series. It's like the same story, but it's just done chronologically rather than like this separate episodes. So, and that's coming out tomorrow, or for everyone listening, a few days ago, which will be interesting. Because that was but yeah, I definitely recommend watching at least the first 3 series. It's all on Netflix.
I have been meaning to watch it.
Double
I'll give it a
thumbs up.
shot, so.
And I'm really hopeful for this new series to be back to its peak sort of thing.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, I've watched too much of it in the last few days. But yeah, that's.
I wish I knew more about it so I could make some kind of clever reference of that your life has been affected by it, but I literally know nothing about it. So
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But
is that the one where a man gets painted blue?
Yeah, he blows himself quite a lot, and I blues himself quite a lot.
That
works better when he says
those were
it.
two.
Yeah.
Those were two very different sentences.
Yeah, well, when he says it, he says, "Oh, I blew myself again," but it doesn't work when you're saying it about someone else, because then the joke.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I double thumbs up. Arrested Development, very, very good. Especially the first 3 series. 4th is fine. It's not like, because sometimes things come back after how many years and it's just awful. And this wasn't awful. It's just different.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And it's But yeah, that's me. Basically, I've just been watching Arrested Development and playing LA Noire thing.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yes.
Does that mean it is time for the questions?
It's slime to... Oh.
It's not slime time, it's question time.
I knew that.
There may be questions about slime. I haven't seen the questions.
There might be.
Don't send in questions about slime.
Despite having totally prepared ages ago and read the questions in detail, and not just...
Which you always do.
No, I usually read them in a bit more detail. Today it got to like 2 o'clock when we said we were going to record, and I was like, oh, actually, can I have 20 minutes? Because I've completely forgotten to look at the email.
Well, you sent us a text like 5 minutes before 2 going, are we still podcasting today? And we were like, yeah. But we're not ready, so we'll be a minute. And you were like, okay, I'm fine. And then you text us again going, actually, can I have 20 minutes, please?
Yeah.
And we were like, thank God. It's not just us.
Yeah, I completely forgot to do any prep. Because in my head, we're recording a day early because I'm coming back to the UK. And in my head, I was still like, well, I mean, Thursday morning is prep time, so I'll just do that then. That's fine. I'll do that before I leave for my flight. I just didn't
and then
make the
somehow
connection.
travel back in time.
Yeah, I just didn't make the connection at all, which is pretty special. So I have replied to everyone's emails as usual, but they were
reply all thanks to the email, whoever the fuck you are.
No, individual replies to each person.
Thank you, individual, for your reply.
And if you want to get a completely boilerplate reply from Matt and have your question answered on the podcast, then what email address should you send it to? Snipe?
Huh?
What's the email address?
Only drummer Matt at Snipe and Wib
Yes.
at gmail.com?
Yeah.
What is it again?
That's a great fucking question. Only drummer Matt at Snipe and Wib at gmail.com?
It is indeed
Nice.
only drummermat at snipeandwib at gmail.com.
Yeah.
I kept wanting to put the word play in there. I'm like,
Yeah. Well, I just keep thinking it's what we originally wanted it to be, but then that didn't.
specifically drummer Matt.
But that was just slightly too long for the Google. Apparently, has a limit on email,
And we found it.
We found it.
We did.
So I have replied and read everyone's email, but apologies that everyone's personal reply was shorter than it sometimes can be. So I have skimmed through it, but there might be some completely inappropriate things. Who knows? We'll see.
Well, we could just cut those out and burn them, so...
Yeah. That's
All right.
So, as usual, in no particular order.
Although there is an order, I'm never going to
Okay,
tell
well,
you what
there
it
is an order. It's just the order I get the emails.
Yeah, really.
Just we make that joke like nearly every time.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that's because it's so funny. I keep blanking it so I can say it again and enjoy it anew.
Yep. So, Aridius Pidnaean, who I apologise for pronouncing the name wrong before, and they've accepted the apology, which is good because I probably just mispronounced it again.
Apologise again now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that just means you can do it again. It's fine.
They haven't sent a question so much as a statement saying, please make a regular segment where Snipe talks about the latest episode of Riverdale that she watched, because they need to know more about that dog that's part of a biker gang.
Oh, hot dog, yeah.
We're not going to talk any more about Riverdale. Ever, I hope.
Oh, I was just about to say.
Have you watched any more?
I watched a few more, and I actually have a print screen.
See how we're talking about it, by the way, Wib.
Yeah. But yeah, there's kind of like spoilers. There's like it's not a serial killer, but kind of a serial killer. Well, they want to be. And like Betty has a secret brother that is just alive, and because he's had difficulties in his life, he's now a male porn star. And he's crazy, because, if you've been put into the foster system, then you're obviously a deviant, like a sex worker, apparently.
There's several layers of
so
wrong
many
going
layers.
on there.
Yeah.
Of really irresponsible, television making.
Well, the thing is, it does try and be, kind of quite, what's the word, woke, as the kids say?
Socially responsible.
Socially responsible, but
Just not a twat.
Yeah, I think its heart's in the right place, but I don't think they pull it off a lot. Which I'm glad that they're at least trying, but they do fuck up a bit. Also, Archie is working for the FBI,
Oh, good. That's fine.
investigating fraud.
Okay.
Can we just not talk about Riverdale?
It's
Okay, moving on.
Okay.
Next person, Frambo.
The video game?
The video game is asking us a question.
Apparently.
Oh,
Okay, cool.
big fan,
So
Frambo.
recently it was their birthday.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday. So they decided to invite a few, in inverted commas, friends over, which
Okay.
I'm not sure how ominous that sounds.
That
But,
really made me just
no,
go, oh.
The friend was in inverted commas because one of said friends happened to bring the exact same awful jelly beans that we tried on that video we did.
That's fair. No,
So
they aren't
they
a
now
friend.
are in possession of those awful jelly beans. So
Now you'll be able to taste how plastic they taste.
And how they're all just
bad.
kind of bad.
all
but basically they're asking for some advice as to what they should do, because they feel like they can no longer trust said friend.
Well, you should throw...
Call the police.
You should throw the friend, like the jelly beans, in the bin.
But friends can be large and unwieldy.
That's why you have a very large bin.
Get a large bin, there you go.
get a large bin.
In fairness, it's probably if they've brought you those, that's probably better than them bringing the fancy version, Bean Boozled, I think they're called.
Yeah.
Because those are
Those
known,
are really, really, really gross.
because
apparently.
the ones that are nice, I mean, I'm not a big jelly bean fan, but apparently the nice ones are really nice, but the ones that are bad are so bad they will make you throw up.
I've seen loads of people eat them and throw up.
When
we do open our PO box, please don't send them to us, because we probably won't do a video on them, because I don't like throwing up.
Yeah.
As a rule.
Yeah, as a rule.
I've done it a lot in my life, and I'm kind of fed up with it.
Not a fan.
Not a fan, honestly. It's a bit yucky. Damages your teeth.
But yeah, so maybe they're a better friend than you think, because if they brought you those, then those are merely kind of just... Even at their worst, they're just kind of shit, as opposed to the ones that will make you throw up. So, you know what? Maybe they're not as bad a friend as we're kind of painting them as.
Yeah. But they're still pretty bad.
Maybe we're saving you from the horrors of actually trying the full-bore Bean Boozled.
I'm punching you in the face because it's nowhere near as bad as getting murdered.
Okay, look, I'm just trying to make help someone maintain a friendship here.
Okay, they're obviously not a real friend though. What you should do is you should boil up all of the jelly beans in a pan, strain it, and then put all the jelly bean juice in the ice cube tray. So the next time they come around for a drink or whatever, use those ice cubes.
Or just make them eat one of the squid ones.
Yeah, that's the worst.
That's probably enough penance,
The thing is,
really.
they smell like dead butts. It's horrible.
They're not good, no.
They're not good. Frambo, be careful.
Stay strong.
Stay strong.
Next up, we've got Dave, and Dave emailed in to say that they're quite jealous of all the board games that I managed to have time for. Or I guess you guys as well, with all your board game cafe adventures. So collectively,
We go like once every 2 weeks.
still better than some people get to play board games.
I guess, yeah. No, this is
But
true.
it reminded them, all this board game talk reminded them of another childhood toys repurposed project. Oh, no, sorry, Gasland. Us talking about Gasland specifically reminded them of another childhood toys repurposed project, which is called Brick Wars. Apparently, have you heard of it?
I've not
Brick
heard
Is
of
it
it.
to
No.
do with the Lego?
It is. So Brick Wars spelled BRIK Wars.
With a Z?
No, with an S.
Oh,
If
then
it
it's
was
not cool enough.
with a Z, I wouldn't have read the email.
Yeah, that's completely different.
Well, you would have just instantly deleted it. Wiped it
Deleted
from
the
your
email
memory.
account.
And not in a judging way to whoever emailed in, but just, yeah. But anyway, no, this is with an S, so it's fine. Apparently, yeah,
Okay.
it's, as you expect, it's a rules-light war game based around using Lego
Okay.
as, like, dudes on terrain. All the rules are free on the website, apparently. And there's, like,
The
you can do,
Lego
like,
isn't.
minifig infantry sort of combat scale, or you can do, like, big mech scale stuff, apparently.
Okay.
That's kind of cool.
They haven't played a lot of it, but what they did was quite fun and fast. So,
I'd be interested in trying like at least a little bit of it, because I mean I don't really have much Lego anymore. I've got like Lego Technic still and a handful of minifigures, and that's mostly
Yeah, well,
it.
from the sound of it, you could just use minifigs. Yeah. So maybe, and you can use Lego scenery, but I'm sure you can just use your 40k stuff.
To be fair, I'm pretty sure that like minifigures and stuff cost about the same as one Space Marine.
Oh, possibly more.
Well, look at Primaris. You get like 3 for a tenner.
Yeah, you can get three easy fit Primaris for a tenner, so they're like £3.30 ish.
Yeah, so they're like 30p slightly more expensive
than buying a minifigure in like a blind bag.
Yeah.
So.
And at least
Comparatively,
Lego is fucking expensive, is what I'm saying.
They are of comparative price.
That always made me really sad as a kid, because you go into the Lego aisle at the toy store and there's all this amazing stuff, and my parents would be like, "Take a good look. You ain't never playing with one. Too expensive."
I can't really say that, because Lego was the toy I adored as a kid.
Hey, I'm not sitting here going, because I didn't have it, you're not allowed to have had it, and I begrudge at you. I hope you had lots of fun with it.
It was what I always got bought at Christmas or whatever, because I loved it so much.
Yeah,
so
likewise. I've still got most of it, I think. It's in my folks' attic somewhere. And what I really want to do is be really awful and at some point go and find it and like resort it back into its original sets, because that would be the most satisfying thing. Like,
yeah, that sounds like something I'd want to do.
Yeah.
Are you going to be listening to like country music at this time as well and eating plain cardboard?
I like that you both side the exact same side, but for complete opposite reasons.
Yeah.
Well, you both went, resorting Lego for fucking days on end.
Hey, come on! Like, we've got all like the 40k like bits and pieces are sorted out into like this is the section of the box for heads. This is the section for legs.
Yeah, but I put them there like that, and I intend to keep them that way. I'm not going to go dump them on the floor and go, and now I'm going to resort it. That's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, but if you bought like a box of bits on eBay or something and it wasn't sorted, you would then sort them into the right thing, right?
Yeah, but I wouldn't enjoy it.
Well, then
to keep it tidy.
Then you are a very different person to both Matt and
I. I'm starting to think maybe you two are the same person.
I think there is something oddly satisfying about like organising.
Should I go and just empty a bunch of shit on the floor and watch you pick it up then?
There's an element of choice.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it.
Even as a kid, though, I remember, like, as kids finding loads of different, like, boxes and, like, trays and things and trying to, like, organise it. And obviously we got bored after a few hours or whatever. But even as a kid, I remember...
hours you got bored?
Yeah. But, like...
I'm bored hearing about it.
Yeah. Okay, fine, we'll move on from boring Lego.
No, keep talking. I want to keep sniping at you. Keep going.
Yeah, move on to the next question. We don't have to deal with this negativity, man.
Oh, fuck off, you boring old men.
Preston... more comments than questions, but they the things they're enjoying at the moment is listening to Wib convince himself that Star Trek Discovery is worth watching. Because, yeah, it does sound like I know you now sort of enjoy it, but the way that you didn't at the start and now do, it does sound like you've just basically convinced yourself to like it rather than you actually have liked it.
Hey.
There is an element of that, certainly.
At least he's liking things.
I would consider that it is more that... the way it ended convinced me that it might be something that's worth sticking with for another season, as opposed to if it had stayed at that low point, then I just wouldn't. I would have said I'm not even going to bother watching season 2.
You probably would have at least tried to watch season 2.
To be fair, I still haven't got through season 1 of Enterprise. I am not a complete machine who will just sit through and watch even the worst Star Trek.
Their second point was. On a more serious note, they're really enjoying listening to you, Snipe, talk about like candidly about mental illness stuff. It's just really reaffirming because they have a mental illness too, and just listening to someone else talk about it and knowing that there's other people like that and things is just they say thank you for that.
I'm glad. I mean, I'm not glad that you have a mental illness because, buddy, that sucks. I kind of try and make myself talk about it because I think a big thing about mental health issues is that there's a lot of shame there.
Yeah, as I think we were saying last time, like, there's no shame if you catch a cold, but if you have a mental illness, you can't talk about it, or society says you shouldn't. And like, well,
and that's
so I think
up and not okay.
If you can just sort of, bring it up occasionally, just in normal conversation because it's normal, the more people do that. Yeah, but I'm glad to know that
understanding people.
Yeah, I always try and be. I know, like both of us, we always try and be very upfront. Like, yes, we do have issues, you know.
We do have struggles with our mental health.
And
a lot of people do, and
yeah.
that's it's not fine in the way that it makes you feel bad, but it's completely normal, and there's nothing freakish or weird about you. You know.
And I think once you break down some of that stigma, then it's going to be easier for you to manage it, because you're going to feel a lot more comfortable talking about it in front of people yourself, you know.
Exactly.
Because you don't feel so wrong.
Yeah.
Because you do end up with that feeling.
You do end up feeling like you're the only person in the world and you're a freak. And
you should just get over it.
You should just get over it. And it's like, that's not the way it works at all.
Yeah.
And more people talking about it, I think, is incredibly positive. And I'm glad I am actually, helping people out as well. Because, it helps me out seeing other people talk about it too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, no, thank you very much. That does mean a lot to me.
And finally, they also sent a picture through of their dog. Which I will put on Twitter, despite saying last time I put some pictures of dogs and things on Twitter and then just completely forgot. When this one goes
People
up,
were waiting.
I will put up the dogs and the dog pictures we got from these questions, and I'll retroactively put up last week's as well, because I just completely forgot. Apologies.
I mean, I'm not going to say that you are the worst person.
But you're damn near close.
But,
in my defence, the last time I did that, you text me to remind me that, the podcast's gone live, you should do the tweet. And this time you did.
So it's my fault.
I'm just relying on you, and you just let me down.
So
you're
not
blaming
only
him for your problems, I see.
So not only do we have to edit the whole podcast together, cutting out all the extraneous guff,
which is quite a lot. We've been recording for 6 hours so far,
and we've maybe got half of a podcast down. This is the 47th time we've heard these questions. I mean,
but I've also got to remind you to make a tweet.
Yeah, look, hey, I'm just the talent. When you begged me to join you,
when
you begged me to join you because no one would listen to just the two of you by yourselves, I said fine, but as long as I don't have to remind myself to tweet out dog pictures. That was my one condition.
Okay, so the rider you signed. Could you maybe send us a copy, because you never shared it with us? You wrote and signed your own rider.
If you remind me on Monday to share it, I will share it. If you don't, I might forget.
You know what? I'm going to fucking remind you. I'm going to remind you on Monday, you motherfucker. You wait, and you're going to regret this.
We will publicly remind you.
I will literally come to your house, kick in the door, and just, spray paint, put shit on Twitter on your face.
Okay, good.
Also, can we come over? So I can bring my spray paint.
I can happily say yes, because you're not. I am assuming you're not allowed spray paint on a plane. So,
well, I'm sure I know that France is a spray paint free country, but I might be.
They banned it along with the slime.
They did.
Maybe
they did.
I think to be honest, this podcast is probably just going to be called "It's Slime Time."
Yeah, probably. Anyway, moving on to the next person, Holden. They're a fan from Canada, watching the channel for just shy of a year now. They wonder.
So they're a member of the Illuminati.
What?
That was in context.
What was
your
it?
pun was Illuminati.
Your pun was
Canada. I get it.
Ah, no, you get
it. That's good. That was relevant. I like that.
Yeah.
I was just expecting you to have mispronounced Illuminati because you were trying to force that into the conversation.
No, the Illuminati.
Yeah, okay, I like that.
Because of that cute thing that Canadians do.
I mean, it still wasn't particularly relevant other than them being...
but
you see, you watch. Now this person will be a member of the Illuminati.
Okay.
And you'll feel really silly.
But they were wondering, just moving quickly on, they were wondering how you guys got your start in producing content for YouTube. Because they're interested in content production, looking to start their own channel, and would just like some general advice.
Oh, okay. Well, we might not be the best people to get stuff from, because I first started on YouTube doing bullshit music videos with my friends, where I constantly I'd chase them with knives and whatnot. And
yes, that's like when I first knew you.
Yeah,
so that's back in YouTube's infancy.
Yeah, and doing stupid videos about gerbils, and then we started doing Gary's mod videos.
Yeah.
And they were terrible.
And I guess that kind of taught us a little bit about working in video.
And working together and kind of directing and stuff like that. And honestly, I think the best piece of advice we can give you is just start. And don't expect to be very good, or because no one's good when they start. I'm not being a twat. We sucked when we started, and that's fine.
No one will find out what sort of your style is or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you
Basically.
have you
You've gotta
guys,
make-
have you guys see? Do you ever watch Vsauce?
No.
Okay.
I've seen a few videos here.
Seen
and
a
there.
few.
But like
but I don't
they
watch it.
started off like if you go back to the start of their channel, it's like gaming like news and it's like completely different.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like
That's the thing. You've got to
just-
you've got to try everything to try and figure out what you like personally. You've got to find your own style.
Failing that, steal everything from everyone. Like not
That's literally what any
Yeah.
creative person does
like
anyway.
like don't like go, I'm going to do this style of video that is evocative of this particular YouTuber or whatever. Like steal the style from one thing, like the format from another, and just cobble everything together, and then you'll eventually work out what your style is by taking little bits from everyone you like.
We are the summation of everyone who's ever influenced us.
Yeah, and hopefully, if you're really, really lucky, half of those people you're inspired by won't later turn out to be fucking racist. So, that's great.
Yeah. Or just horrible, horrible people.
Yeah.
Or have a management system that's incredibly fucking gross and horrible.
Yeah.
But no, just start and try and just try and do what you want to do and keep at it. That's
yeah,
all you
like
gotta
it
do.
sounds like such cop out advice, but that
It
is
does
that
sound
is
like such
genuinely
bullshit.
you just have to kind of. I mean,
You just
Yeah.
have to start because, like, trust me, I'm masterclass procrastinator when it comes to anything. So I sit there and I'll agonize about, I want to do, for argument's sake, I want to do a video series, but I don't have the right music, I don't have the right XYZ, my microphone's not good enough, I want to do this but I can't. Just do it. Because you'll sit there and you'll think up 1,000 reasons why you can't do something, and then you just won't get anything done. So just start it, keep at it, and you'll do great.
As a minor point, as a more logistical thing, also, just get a decent microphone.
yeah,
That's really the only thing you kind of do
sound
need.
quality will put people off before video quality.
Yes.
Yes.
You can get away with putting up a video that's 720, 30 frames a second. Like, most people aren't even going to notice that.
And the people who do are jerks who you don't want to really associate with anyway.
I don't know. After working in 1080-60 for long enough, like, I don't
thing is,
want to... I hate fucking looking at 30 frames a second
Okay,
videos.
fine, but we couldn't do that in the beginning.
No, we couldn't,
A lot
no.
of people can't, because you just don't have the hardware for it.
Yeah.
And you don't want to commit to something you don't know if you're going to stick with.
But you can get a decent enough microphone for about 50 quid.
Yeah. So just, if, commit to it. That's all you need to do.
But even then, even from a bad microphone, you can sometimes tidy it up in post. So, but yeah, just make sure that your voice is comes across clearly, and you'll generally be all right. I know I say that whilst we're talking in an echoey room on a very old microphone, which might undermine our point slightly. But you know what? It's fine. It's worked for us so far.
Yeah.
So yeah, keep at it. Just start. And I wish you all the best. I reckon you'll do great.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
Definitely.
Cadian Guardsman Reek, they email saying that we're their only hope. Their self and their platoon are in a power struggle with filthy heretics who believe tacos should be eaten on a Tuesday.
But what about Taco Tuesday?
So-
Is it Taco Thursday?
Well, their question, they asking us to stand with the glorious emperor of Taco Friday, or if we rather have this Taco Tuesday.
But Friday's pizza day, the best day of the week.
This is very true. I can't argue with the acrobats.
See, it's Monday hot dogs, Tuesday tacos, Wednesday hamburgers and chocolate milk, Thursday sloppy joes and burritos in a bag, and then Friday's pizza day.
The best day of the week.
Yeah, I mean,
the kids would always line up super early just to eat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would sit there and go, "Am I having a stroke?"
It's one of those references where the right people will get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, not everyone will, but the right people will. But yeah,
I personally want to make no stand in the taco argument.
you don't want to taco about it.
That's pretty good.
The look he has just given me screamed 10,000 divorces. I tell you,
It's better than Illuminati, so you know what? I'll take it.
we're very punny this episode for some reason.
Just ask another question, please.
Now I want to talk about the taco that I had the other night.
Oh, tell me about the taco.
Was
it on
it
a
was
Tuesday?
from a place called. It wasn't. It was on a Saturday. So, but
Okay.
it wasn't. It was from a place called O Tacos. As in, I don't know if it was
tacos.
Yeah, but it was written as in that the Irish surname, O with an apostrophe, then tacos. So I don't know if they're trying to be
Irish people can live in France.
Yeah, I know, but they're not.
And Irish Mexican people can live in France.
Yeah, no, true, but yeah, it was a bit confusing. And the things they were selling weren't at all tacos. Like they were kind of.
Were they gelatos?
No, they were like kebab burritos. They were like it was kind of. You could get kebab meat and like kebab and chips in a wrap or that sort of thing. Or there was actually an alarming amount of choice of different meats and things you could have in them. But they were basically kebabs, but they were like sealed up on both ends like a burrito. But anyway, it was life changing. If anyone is, I don't know if it's a chain or if it's just a one-off, but if anyone comes to Bordeaux, O-Taco is your place to go.
I want to go to O-Taco.
Definitely not sponsored by, but I would be sponsored by them if they offered me a taco. I would even call what they sell tacos if they gave me more of them. Even though they're definitely not. Anyway, the same Guardsman Reek also asked if we were ever going to see any more special guests on the podcast.
Maybe.
At some point, probably.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about it. That's not your problem.
Okay, stop now.
Stop.
You're doubling down. The big problem with comedy is once you've had something that hits, you don't want to keep following it up.
The thing is, if you do, then it gets funny again.
It doesn't, though. You have to do it a lot, and even then it doesn't really work a lot of the time, unless that's kind of your shtick.
No, I don't like it.
It's like how part of my shtick is overly explaining things.
No, that's just what you do every day because you're a massive patronising butt.
Yeah, that's my thing.
What's your thing? Jerk.
Next up, we have a completely mysterious person who totally didn't have Ruth's email address.
Right.
Has Ruth been hacked, dude?
I don't know, but she wrote...
Has she been kidnapped and this is your way of
This
kind of...
completely mysterious person wrote in all caps, I have a film prequel which is better than the rest.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Fantastic Beasts.
I haven't seen it.
The newest Harry Potter verse film.
I have not seen most of the Harry Potter films or Fantastic Beasts, so I will defer to you,
I
Matt.
would agree. In like the story's not quite as good because the story of the Harry Potter is just quite satisfying. The books, but when it transfers to film, like you have to cast kids, and the kids that they chose at the start couldn't act at the start and barely learnt by the end. So the films are fine, but they're not great, and they actually get better. So actually, it's an interesting series because the films basically progressively get better as the kids kind of learn a bit how to act by the end.
I was trying to think if Harry Potter and the Portrait of What Looks Like a Pile of Ash was a prequel, and I don't think it is.
No, I think that's it.
But that is my favourite entry in the Harry Potter series.
It's the best.
Well, yeah.
Chapter 13.
Yeah.
That's my favourite.
But yeah, no, it's a fair point. The films get better throughout the series, and then the prequel to it, which is made afterwards, because they can actually put actors in it, was like probably a better film, even though...
What is it about? Is it just like, oh, yes, see,
It's
the
about-
Muggles, they can't use magic,
It's
because
about-
fuck them, we want them all to die.
It's about Fantastic Beasts and where to find them.
It is partially
So it's a Steve
about
Irwin
that.
movie.
Sort of.
It's about the life of the dude who wrote the book that's in the main series.
Yeah. But it's also like...
There's a book in the main series?
Because there's going to be like 5 of them, it's
I thought
actually...
that was J.K. Rowling.
No, the book in the... You're just doing this on purpose.
I love how... Dude, we've known each other for like at least a decade. You've just started to learn when I'm just being a twat for no reason.
Yeah, but no, that's a good point. I think it is probably a prequel that is better than... Yeah, so there we go. We've
Cool.
solved that question. By
Well, thank you, Ruth's kidnapper.
anonymous person.
The anonymous person that isn't totally your girlfriend.
Yeah. I don't know what this email was, actually, because I only checked it this morning, so I don't know if she's done that, if she's just been bored in the UK. And
Is this the only time she's contacted you since she's been away from you?
Just to tell you, Siri, fuck off! She just called me rude.
Oh, I mean, you did say fuck off to her.
Well, I mean, I didn't say anything like, hey, Siri. Yeah, she didn't hear me. So,
Alright, a couple more left. Shanus, they emailed it twice because they emailed like an hour or so after I grabbed the questions for the last podcast. So they missed out. But they're pretty sure we know that Snipe would join the Space Wolves. But they're asking what Legion I choose to join. And I have no idea. I don't know where I fit in.
The Salamanders.
I want to stick with my answer last time of Tau, but I think that's not included in their set of answers.
If you're talking about legions, maybe do you feel like more on the side of engineering in terms of like something intricate like a weapon or like building a fort.
He's a fort builder.
I'd rather not build anything that is used in war, which kind of makes the 40k setting kind of difficult. Because you see, it is a grim, dark future. And
well, you could be,
only...
pre-fall Emperor's Children. They did have a bit more of an appreciation of art.
Okay, is there like a peacekeeping force or something? If I have to be a fight.
Well, if
you have to be a fighter.
They said Legion, so I assume they mean Space Marine Legion.
Yeah,
so.
but there might be a peace,
so you have
like
to a Space Marine
a like pacifist Space Marine Legion.
Well,
yeah.
Maybe.
Well, how
okay,
about
I've got
Sky
it.
Sentinels? They're not doing much anymore.
But they're not Legion.
No, they're all dead.
Yeah, that's why.
The thing is, they're not
Legion.
actively contributing to the Dead Legion. They're not actively contributing because they're all dead.
How about maybe Ultramarines might be one for you then, because they were supposed to be a bit more, prepared for the time.
I'm vetoing Ultramarines.
Okay.
This is a general principle.
That's fair.
The principle of like not wanting to shoot at people comes second to the principle of hating Ultramarines. Come on.
Well, you could be a World Eater then. They don't shoot at people, mostly because they forget they have a gun and just throw it at someone.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, why not?
That really strikes me as more of a me thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
That's
I forget. I'm so angry. I forget I have a gun and I start beating people to death
with it. Yeah. Yeah, that is
so
hurting for you.
Anyway, let's go on to the next question, because we've got to record something after this.
Okay,
we're running out of time.
Okay, not long left. Would we ever want to run a D&D campaign set in Discworld? Yes. All yes. Manner of yes. I don't know how exactly it'd work, but I think it'd be quite fun.
I mean, I love the Discworld, but I don't know if I'd actually want to roleplay in it, honestly.
Yeah.
No?
I don't...
I'd want to give it a go.
I'd give it a shot, but I don't know if that'd be a thing for me, honestly.
I'd try. Okay. Yeah, but I mean, I don't really have a strong feeling one way or the other.
Yeah, I don't know why I have a reticence to that, but it doesn't feel right to me.
I think it's because you're kind of recalling subconsciously at the idea that you could basically be a part of a Discworld story because you think that Terry Pratchett could always do it better than you.
That's probably it, actually.
That's probably reasonable.
I don't think any RP would ever be as satisfying as just reading a book.
Yeah.
In terms of experiencing the Discworld world.
The thing is, it's not about that. It's about just reveling in the scenery.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just it's basically just putting your character insert in there and just enjoying the actual like pre-established and very much loved setting.
Yeah, no.
But I understand your reticence.
Yeah,
I'd still give it a go.
Yeah, I give it a shot.
As long as I could be a night watchman, I'd be happy about that.
Okie dokie. Finally up, question from... Did I say who it was from? This one? I can't remember.
Seamus.
Yeah, good. Okay. When we finish our current D&D campaign, would you, Snipe, consider publishing your Nathan notes? They say as a novel, but I don't know whether you want to write it into a novel or just any other format.
Yeah, just write a novel, Snipe. Just write a novel.
You mean another
just
one?
do it.
But would you consider publishing any of your Nathan stuff?
Well, to be fair, I stopped doing battle reports, for lack of a better word, a while ago now, because the podcast keeps my all my
records.
My records of my exploits being Nathan. So, I mean, I could basically do just a big old collective rundown, which I probably will do for myself anyway. So maybe that's an interesting idea. But like publishing it is just like, oh god, everyone will see how I'm an actual terrible writer, and I just write about butts all day.
Most of it will be discussing.
I was about to say that's not true, but then you said the butts thing.
Yeah,
that's true.
Write about the butts.
You're a good writer. You're good at writing about butts.
Thank you. I like talking about, the peachy keen cheeky boys.
The peachy keen cheeky boys.
Yeah,
nice.
Those two of my original characters.
Peachy keen. What was it? Was it peachy keen and cheeky boys?
No, they are the peaky keen cheeky boys.
The what now?
The peachy fucking. What did I say? Peachy clean squeaky. Fuck. Shit! Don't laugh at me. Help me. I'm having like a mental breakdown here. The peachy keen peachy. What the fuck?
Okay. On that note, we should probably wrap this up.
No, I'm gonna get it. Peachy Keens, Beach Boys. I can't fucking remember. How is this so difficult? That's literally what my novel is.
Yeah.
It's just me going, wait a minute, was it this? Was it that?
I was about to say, I'm quite looking forward to moving on to the next D&D campaign because you'll be running it, hopefully, and you're a damn sight better writer and storyteller than I am. But you're starting to make me think maybe not.
Okay, so, I don't write this shit down. What I do is I sit there for like 6 hours at a computer and I have thoughts about the Peachy Keen Cheeky Boys.
Hey, you did it.
Hey! And then
Okay, let's just stop now before you can't. You're not going to top that. You've said it.
No. And then I siphon out all the bullshit, and like after like 20 hours, I get maybe 2 pages of something that isn't terrible.
I mean, that's just writing, right?
I think it's a bit more excessive for me. Because I've got to deal with those things, and I don't know why, but the Peachy Keen Cheeky Boys just look like the Mount Your Friends boys.
In your head, that's
in my head. That's what they look like.
Okay, let's end this podcast now.
Okay, let's end it now.
End it now.
End it. Dead. Now. Goodbye. Go home. Thank you so much for your questions, and we'll probably be back in 2 weeks, and Drummer Matt probably won't have wanked himself to death.
Probably.
Probably.
But we ain't promising anything.
No. Thanks for listening, and goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.